later.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. So.
No. Steam exit.
When last we left off, our companions had defeated the Reckolich, had found and destroyed his phylactery, and put on their sunglasses and walked away from the exploding building where the necromantic energy of that phylactery was unleashed. You guys were still in the temple area and kind of, or rather in the city, the city at the bottom of the chasm, and were, I just think, just exiting the building.
So I lost cool points. I looked directly into the explosion. From inside the perimeter of the blast radius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just very sad that all of that gold was still in there when it exploded.
Oh, it's necromantic energy. The gold's still there.
Oh, cool. Oh, it was just not forcefully throwing.
It's just in a 400-pound puddle on the ground.
Just trying to murder us.
Sticking to the stone, I would imagine.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
We decided to gold plate this stone. Well, if we had a long time, it would be worth fooling with.
Yeah, if we had a long time and weren't already fantastically wealthy, it would definitely be a thing to do.
You guys aren't poor, so it's not necessary to scrape every ounce of gold off of the walls, I don't think. Okay, so given that, and given your situation, what do you guys want to do? Where do you want to go? What is the plan?
Let's break down
well, we need to go back to the ship, and we can probably ring the dwarves from here to have them meet us in the temple. I have to assume that carapace could be turned into something useful.
I'm sure it could.
Right? Yeah. How does that scale compared to the 3 elder dragons we saw in the kobold tombs?
Close, a little bit smaller.
What did we do about repairing the necromantic buffer?
That was in a completely different place. If you're talking about the overflow buffer, that was in a completely different place. That was on the northern continent.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, that is the okay. It's a necromantic buffer, and that's why it was set to 100. So it would leak more necromantic energy at that location.
Yeah, precisely.
And it could soak it up.
Yep.
Maybe we should fix that, or just hang out for a bit.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Well, regardless, the dwarves should make a shit ton more rope and meet us at the temple.
Okay, so you're just going to have your dwarves kind of make their way through the city towards the temple, the squad 5.
Did you want to real quickly check out this area where the phylactery was?
Just a point of information. This is distinctly not the 5th.
No, I thought you brought the 5th.
No. These are volunteers that Dendron was able to convince to follow us.
Oh.
The 5th knew their duty was to stay there.
Okay. I thought it was the good ones, but okay, that's fine.
I mean,
I will change my
probably
notes.
Better than average.
I will adjust my notes.
Right. His notes are adjusted.
Good job, Zach. God.
Hey, I should be back there.
Before we leave and move on, would it yield anything to search the area where the phylactery was? Because I would like to throw a perception check over it or an investigation.
I mean, you're faster than the rest of the party. I don't think anyone will take issue if you want to stay back and sweep it a little bit as we walk.
Okay, that is a 15. Because reliable.
Sure. So what specifically are you looking for, I guess, is the question. Are you just going through the villa or the house where the phylactery was at? Are you looking for anything specific? I mean, are you just randomly looking around?
Radiating from the room of the phylactery, I would like to try to find a secret door. Or if there was a room filled with treasure and I saw that, I would take a stab.
I'm inclined to think that we wouldn't find it here, actually.
Yeah, you guys found the secret door to get down to the phylactery.
Yeah,
I
think.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot in that house that has survived through the centuries. Anything that wasn't like stone is disintegrated. Anything that wasn't nailed down was probably taken with the dwarves when they fled. It just seems.
So the dragon just.
Yeah, if you're thinking about a dragon
treasure.
horde.
Yeah.
No, if you're thinking about a dragon horde, I think it's most likely the place where it spends its days.
Yeah.
Well, I would figure like most liches.
Well, it's nights. It's nights.
Yeah. Well, it's too late anyway because David essentially said that it was not worthwhile.
Yeah, in essence, I mean, you can look all you like. I just don't think you're going to find anything particularly interesting.
Yeah, I looked for secret doors. It was a 15.
Yeah, no.
If that doesn't work, I leave.
Okay. Yeah, there are no secret doors in the room with the phylactery. You found the only secret door you could find going like down into the place.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
So, do we need to do any fiddling with the repair box? And
Well, I've already started the calibration arc.
Okay. That's all I wanted to be sure of here.
I think that's the only thing we can really do here now. I don't know. Like, I don't really have an instinctive feel for the thing. Am I getting any like idea of what would be useful? Can I command shades yet?
Not yet, no. And you kind of get the feeling like the entire process of kind of setting up the like the calibration and kind of getting attuned to the key are kind of one and the same, and you expect that it will take like a full day to get everything kind of.
So we'll know in 24 hours how poorly this is going.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you look at page 2 of the Tome of Agron? It's got stuff about setting energy levels and buffer levels.
Yeah, that's why we use the calibration tool, because it automatically will find the best buffer level for it.
Okay.
Well, at least for the preservation of the lock, which, I mean, that's what I'm in this for, so...
I was in it for, for the kicks.
just a thrill seeker, Dendron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My life in the thrill kill cult.
Yeah, exactly.
Better run.
Okay, so are you guys heading back to the dragon's lair for the moment?
Yeah, the Temple Dome is on the way home anyways, so we might as well go there.
Okay. So are you just... If you just want to head straight into the temple, or are you doing something else?
Well, I was hoping to find the dwarves around here.
Well, I don't have tokens set up for them. I'm sure I can find something.
This shouldn't take entirely too long. How heavy does this thing look? Like it's
a lot.
Essentially an empty hop.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
so
it's
like each
also
individual
kind of-
plate could weigh anywhere between like 50 pounds to a couple 100 pounds, kind of depending on what it is. Something on like the breastplate side of things, like around the chest area, those are much larger. They would be heavier. But the stuff like kind of like on the fingers of the hands or something like that, those are pretty small. If you get my drift.
Yeah, I've got an idea. Does the whole thing look like it has kind of an integrity to it? Or are these pieces like void of the animating force it once had, just kind of like come apart in your hands? Like the plates are no longer attached to one another particularly strongly.
Yeah, there's nothing kind of binding the plates together at this point. Like the animating energy of the necromancy has kind of held the Dracolich together.
So we're not going to throw a couple of ropes around it and like pick up the whole thing. It'll just be piles on the floor at that point, right?
Basically what you're looking at is just like a heap, a collapsed heap of like exoskeletal remains, so the chitin of this large dragon,
Sure.
and like the head and those kinds of areas would be like big and sort of intact, but even they would kind of fall apart at the plates.
Okay, in that case, I will start stacking like the largest plates. I'll set down, and then I'll like set kind of like nesting doll layers of plates so that there's like tiny pyramids on top of large individual plates.
Sure.
Hoping to keep the weights somewhere around 300 pounds. I think a couple of dwarves can handle 300 pounds pretty easily. That seems appropriate.
Sure, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. And I'm just going to make 5, 6, 7 stacks, depending on how many I have parts appropriate for.
Sure. And I would say like after like an hour or two, you could probably manage to get, most of this sort of, this carapace sort of sorted out and kind of put into reasonable size stacks. You could probably even, lash them together and get them ready to haul. And I would say, you could probably get something like, 1,500 pounds of the stuff kind of after all is said and done.
I would also be helping Lash. Yeah, I would help Lash just put together. Of course, we need to hurry somewhere. Like, I'm gonna pick my nose.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll do whatever speeds stuff up. Yeah.
Especially, I'm just trying to I'm not being too methodical about it. I want to have like what I can ready when the dwarves arrive and make sure everyone gets one good trip out, and then we haul it up and out. That's
sure.
All I'm trying to do here. I know we kind of have a clock to get on.
Sure.
All right. Is there any way I can set like a second set of ropes that would make it much easier, or like a simple pulley system, so that we can lift it out of the chasm fairly easily?
I'm sure Max has block and tackle, if I'm not mistaken.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will go set that up.
Okay.
I think I am the most appropriate for doing all of that. If you want checks.
Okay. So your guys' focus right now is going to be getting all of this, or as much of this carapace, out of this space as you can, and up to the ship.
For the 80-20.
Yeah. I'm right now going to set up the pulley system.
Sure. I don't see why it would take you any more than just a few hours to kind of get all this kind of hauled out and loaded onto the vessel.
Sure. Okay.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to do down here, or?
I did want to. Are there any? Did any of us study about this city before we came here? Did we have a chance to look at history books?
There were no history books about this city. The only information you had about the city was what you got from the dwarves in Durandal, when they had kind of explained what had happened to the place, and because you got the basic information that they were willing to give you, or that they had given you. How accurate or true that was, it's kind of up to you guys to determine. But there was no research to be done about this place, as far as you know.
Are you tying this note to yourself in some way?
What do you mean?
I think it's already done.
Okay.
I mean, I've attuned the key. The key is connected. The key has recalibrated the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Until I learn.
Are you attuned to the key?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that sounds like about it. Unless there's some way that you intuitively know to use the key.
Well, it's calibrating right now.
Do we need to stick near it for it to calibrate, or?
I believe that'll handle itself.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure the whole point of the key is that it can be affecting this thing at range once it's all set up. And it's already set up. I've already set a new password. The biometric scanner on the tablet is attuned to me.
Correct.
Oh, could you write that password down on this rock that I'm just going to bury right... Oh, one in my character sheet. I guess I have to close my character sheet. I'm not trying to cast a spell. There you go. If you could write that down, I'm gonna bury that password on a rock right here.
Why? I guess.
Just so it's somewhere in this world.
I mean, okay, but I'm pretty sure it's two-factor, so you'd need the password and to be me.
I mean, whoever this admin was. You're not the.
Also,
Well,
if you have the
your
tablet
blood.
and you get it close to the thing, you can just reset those all to that. Like, that one of the other options that's on that page you sent.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm in the water.
Okay. Carded and loaded and going.
Okay. And you guys are gonna head straight to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Unless I see something interesting in the necrosphere.
You still
Oh,
just
yeah,
see
is there
all you see in narcotic energy is just the kind of pulling down towards the center of the spot right underneath where the Dracolich was sitting.
Yeah, I don't get any distinct impression that if I excavate that, it's going to benefit me very much.
Not really. I think what you would say is like you can see on the box that there's some sort of mechanism under there. You don't know that direct interaction with it would be necessary or important anyway.
And it's a functioning box.
Yeah.
Or it's a functioning.
It's 100%. Yeah, nothing here is
Well, it's
damaged.
probably one of those big fucking columns, right?
Probably, yeah. Like you had seen at the the same thing you had seen when you were under Quindon, right?
Right.
Yeah. Same sort of layout as that.
Wait. We should leave the dwarves to this. We should check out to see if there's a station nearby. Was there a station on the box?
There is. If you look like where the tracks run, there's a station. If you follow the tracks towards the west.
Yeah, as Max about to leave the ruined area, about faces and runs back towards this where the dragon was dropped, and then straight through towards the west. You said?
Yeah.
Oh, where it can clip the wall.
Where you used to clip the wall. Okay. Is everybody heading?
We head towards the station.
Is everybody heading towards the station?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, has everything moved out? Because
it appears to be dark in here.
Yeah, it's very dark. As you kind of continue down the tunnel, the space gets darker and darker and darker as you move forward. And Max and Holland don't have dark vision, so.
Yeah, and my
And
shield would be
prepare away
off
for
by
them to
now.
see it.
I will just light a torch.
You're gonna light a torch.
I'm gonna sneak in the shadows.
I see some lights in the distance.
Probably should roll my hide. If it's lower than 20, it's 20.
Okay.
Because I have a cheater skill.
So as you kind of move into the tunnels and down, you can start to see that the rough stone gets smoother and smoother as you progress, and you can start to see like the sharp corners and rough edges of the platforms as they kind of rise up off the ground. As you move in, you can also see there's these kind of lights that sort of hover in a particular area and space on the platforms. They don't seem to be attached to anything, but they're very ethereal. They're just giving off a faint blue glow as they sort of dance around in this space.
Oh,
Do they look like willows or like me winks?
They kind of remind you of that, but they seem to be real fixed in their space, and you don't hear anything. They vaguely remind you of like a Will-O-Wisp or something like that, but again, they're pretty fixed.
Do I see necromantic energy flowing around them?
You see necromantic energy kind of like peeling off of them and running towards the nexus point, but not like specifically flowing into them or anything like that. It's more like something like a fissure, and something pulls necromantic energy through it and heads towards the nexus point.
Well, that's concerning. I'll approach this one and try to take a closer look.
Okay. So as you approach it, you see that it's just this, like I said, this sort of like purplish, bluish, floating about 3.5-4 feet off the ground ball of light. It sort of like hovers around and kind of like moves back and forth in a sort of rhythmic pattern. Every now and again, it flashes a little brighter and flickers. The light kind of just seems to be attached in this point in space, but there's nothing physical or tangible there. And as you look at it, and Max, you're really the only one who can see that as it flickers and flashes, as the light grows more intense, there's a split, like just in space in front of you, where something kind of breaks through it and then floods and moves towards the necromantic pool.
There appears to be a hole in reality here. And I reach out and see if I can grab at that necromantic energy. I'm assuming I can't because that's only worked once, but...
Yeah, no, there's nothing tangible about it.
I reach out and touch the globe.
Okay. As you reach out and touch the globe, your hand goes into it, and you can see the color of the light as it kind of goes over the top of your gloved hand as it goes in, and it starts to look like the glove is starting to lose color as it goes in. You feel this like chill on your fingers. You don't take any damage, you don't feel any pain, but it does seem like there's some kind of energy in this space that seems to drain the color off of like the leather on your glove.
Yeah, I'll pull back and kind of flex my hand and see if the glove is like lost suppleness or something.
It just, I mean, it seems like it's covered with a little bit of frost, but there's no like loss to the flexibleness of it. And as you pull it out, the color returns.
Oh, that is curious. I'll examine another one just to see if it's about the same.
It's about the same, it's just smaller.
Okay. What's the trash can?
Trash can.
How bad does the train look?
It looks abandoned. It doesn't look like there's anything in it or around it that's like it's intact. You can see like the wheels and the various portions of it look like they're not damaged per se. There's no lights on it or in it. So overall, it looks like it's probably functional if you know how to make it function.
Is it climbable?
You could get on top of it if you want, yeah.
Okay, awesome. That would be great.
Is there a door open on it by any chance?
There are no open doors, but there is a door. Yes.
I do a quick pry, see if I can open it up.
Okay, make a strength check or athletics. And you have the crowbar, so advantage, I'm sure.
You are handed one as you approach the door.
You know what? Pop out. Aha. Second screen.
Yeah, okay, so with 17, you get the bar in there and you wedge it in and you apply your strength, and you can hear the kind of like the groaning of the metal as the doors slide open. Inside, you see just like the interior of an interior compartment where you look like there's clearly room for a few people, not a lot. There are some components along the front end of it that look like they're probably intended to be used to manipulate this machine in some way. So obviously, like Helios, you would recognize it as sort of like a control surface, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is there like a storage area?
Hey, the light stabilized over here.
How functional is it? Can I check up on its quality, its runnability?
I would give you like an engineering check if you want to make one. if you have engineering. Otherwise, just a straight intelligence.
Getting around my reliable talent. Okay. Oh wait, that was the same.
I can clip through the wall here too. Yes.
The second one was my actual, so 14.
What are you breaking this time, Tony? Oh, you're off the map.
It's my dwarven power.
Stop.
Oh. The square is the upper left-hand corner.
You can look at it and you can say that it seems to be functional. You're not sure if it's something that needs to just be repaired or if it's needs power. Everything looks intact, but it's obviously not on.
I saw some flickering lights down here earlier. Is it conspicuous that they've stopped?
Where?
Oh, maybe that was just
Like here?
a graphical display.
Like there?
Well, I do see a light there, but I was seeing like shafts of light around where I'm standing that were flickering on and off like arcing electricity.
No, that's probably
that
just
might have been. I don't know if you can see what I can see, but once I get about, no, I think you closed it up.
I fixed it.
Did you close up the wall?
I did.
So there might have been a hole or something.
There might have been a hole. Yeah.
Oh, hey, it looks like the rails are damaged. That's good to know.
And there's a big. Is this a hole to the west right here?
There's a like the platform part of it is collapsed, but the wall is intact.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't see any doors along here, which
No.
means the only doors we've come across are back over here at the top of what looks to be escalators.
Yeah.
Stairs.
I
Stairs.
checked the. Is there stuff in the train?
Nothing you can. I mean, go ahead and make an investigation check. Kind of as you dig around inside of the train, you can see that there are panels underneath the control structure. As you slide them open, you can see that there is a space in there. Part of what looks to be there's a slot where like some kind of rod might fit. Like it seems like cylindrical and about 2 foot long, maybe.
I show Helios. I'm like, hey, something's missing here. What's missing here? Well, what's this thing? What would go here?
Then I will. Sorry, I didn't have my character sheet up because I've been, for some reason, my computer like shuts everything down.
It's okay.
When I have 2 screens up. Okay, then I will help you with your investigation. That's a 15 at least.
Sure.
Well, I got a 16. I assume Helios would have some idea of that would be for like a power core or
Something along those lines, yes.
Jolly Rancher. Or...
Yeah.
Does it look like any of the batteries that we have?
No, it's a different size.
Okay. I show Max because I know he has a hard on for these things. I'm like, hey, if you find a power cord that it's about this size.
Does it look like the larger ones that we left to charge?
No, it doesn't. Those look way bigger than this.
Okay. I take my crowbar back from Denver and unlock a door.
Okay.
I see what you did there.
I assume.
Uh-oh.
Such a tease with that sound.
Guys, I might be out of Earl Grey.
No.
Switch to Medley or chai.
I need caffeine.
All right, so you
can't
come.
get greens that have caffeine.
You come up to
that crystal light.
You come up to the door with the pry bar, and you start wedging it in. You start to hear this creaking noise. You should be able to open that door now.
Oh, those don't. What are...
Roll initiative.
Ha! That's what we get for exploring.
There's an actual initiative button here, isn't there, somewhere?
Yeah, I know, right?
I got you guys.
I'm not seeing it obvious. There, found it.
It's too late. Already
It
got it.
says initiative. What?
A +5 on my initiative? Since when?
I don't know. It's what's on your character sheet. It's
Oh,
your,
did you roll
it's your
for me?
proficiency bonus.
One?
I did, yes.
Wait, I'm proficient.
Oh, that was a great roll. Thank you.
Wait, if I'm proficient in initiative, then why are...
I think everybody is. I don't know.
Clearly not. Helios
I only
has
have +1.
I'm +2. Yeah.
No, it's your proficiency bonus, isn't it?
Obviously not.
Why has everybody got a +5?
Well,
Mine's +2.
I've got a +5 and Holland has a +5.
Yeah. The one you see, the one I rolled was +2.
Oh, no, okay, wait, so there are multiple rolls.
They're all
14.
+5. They're all listed
Max
as
has got
+5.
13.
Everything's +5.
Yeah, that's weird. Why is everybody +5?
Good. I am not. I'm only +1.
Yeah,
well.
mistake. We all get it.
I do not.
No.
I'd have.
I'm not going to sweat
Am I
it.
muted? No, I'm not muted. Yeah, no. I demand a bonus to my initiative.
What should your initiative be? Roll your initiative
I
off
just
your sheet.
current-
Roll your initiative
I
on your
did.
sheet. What'd you
I
get?
did.
What'd you get?
18. Well, I got a 17, but then there's that +1.
Well, you're 18 on the combat tracker.
Only 18 on a combat.
Right click on the little fist.
No, I'm on the combat tracker.
Yeah, you are, as an 18.
Yeah, but
Did you just said you got an 18?
yes, but I'm just saying that my bonus to initiative on my sheet is only +1.
Oh, I see. So what you're saying is you only want 14.
Join
No,
me.
I'm saying I rolled.
Oh, that's weird. See, when I re-rolled it, it got the right number. I guess it just took whatever the first thing I had selected was.
I don't know if you do a bunch in a row. That seems very
There's a button that
believable.
does for everybody.
Well, I don't know. Specialized macros, I could believe that's one of the last things that they fleshed out bugs for.
Yeah, I guess.
Alright.
Well, let's just say I'll just re-roll everybody. Hold on. Just get better and better, Dendron.
I know. It's being a dwarf. Do these crimson mist make any kind of noise?
Nope. They're very quiet. It's almost like they're just
Yeah, what would be
floating
nice?
mist. Okay, so I would say the only one who can see what's going on is Max. Although he is holding a torch, so I think Dendron, you might get a view of it.
I mean, I'm paying attention to stuff in the trains.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. Okay, so Max, as you open the door, you start to open it, and you can just see, kind of off of the ground, what is looks to be a pool of moisture or water, kind of effervesces up into a form, just like a cloud, and as it kind of pulls up off the ground, you can start to see there's a maw at the front of it with what looks to be teeth, and it starts to move towards you. Dendron, you are first. You don't really know what's going on at this point.
Yeah, and I mean,
Although, I
Max
don't know.
made any.
Does Max make a
My initiative is so
exclamation?
low, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to call out.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna spend this turn.
You had a much better initiative earlier.
Not
Yeah, you were
No,
at
still the
8.
first-
compared to the crowd of Crimson Mists.
That's true. Okay. So we're Dendron. You're just gonna keep futzing around with the inside of the train car.
I mean, if I hear something, I'm sure I'll react to it. But as it is,
Okay.
I don't think it'd be.
So we're gonna move along.
Oh, that's the sound of tea. I'm not peeing.
Sure.
Like sound of flushing.
Wait, did one of them?
No, that's the sound of fuser.
Make a 15 dex save, Max.
Am I the only target of this deck save?
You are.
Oh, then you should add 4 to that.
It's got +4. 1d20 +4. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, wait. I guess so.
You rolled an 8.
No, wait. I am proficient on it, but also, since I'm the only target of this deck save, I get to add my shield to it.
Ah, okay. So you're at 16 then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can choose. Do you want this thing to engulf you?
Am I seeing it as a necromantic creature?
It is necromantic, yes.
I'm curious, but also the more of their time that I soak up, the better for anybody else who won't be immune to it. No, I step out of the way.
Okay, so you are pushed back 5 feet as it kind of moves in to kind of fill up the space you had been in.
Ooh, Trixie.
Okay. Helios, you are up.
Okay, so was there a single one of these guys or multiples?
You don't know.
Okay, can I take a looky-loo to see? Can I make a perception, or...?
Well, you can see what you can see. I mean, can you see more than one?
15... where is Zach?
The top one of the
20...
stairs.
Okay. Is my hide still in effect?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, I have moved 20... 25... 30... Is this an up here? Do I have to lose 5 feet
Yes.
moving up this up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 35. So I will be using my cutting for movement. 40... 45... 50... and let's see. Oh, there is more than one of them. I will take a shot with my rifle because I'm curious if that will work or not.
Okay.
At
which one?
The further back of the 2 mists.
An 8 will not hit. Oh, actually, you get the 18, don't you?
Yeah, advantage.
Yeah. The 18 hits for sure.
24 damage.
Okay.
Oh wait, it did not include the
Sneak attack, you have to add that.
Okay, going back to my page. Sorry, I can't keep both pages up, or it like crashes them for some reason.
So you take a knee, kind of take aim, and you take a shot, and it kind of zips past Max and the kind of mist of crimson energy that is in front of him, and you see it strike into the form of the mist behind it, which seems to kind of like wail with this kind of unearthly scream of anger, and it doesn't seem to be pleased.
Okay, so I'll move right here then.
Okay. Anything else?
That was it. That was all I had. That was my cunning and movement. Finish that out, so I can't even hide.
Alrighty.
On the bright side, there's relative distance between you and everything. I can't even see you.
Yeah, I figure they'll try to kill you first, and I can just hide and pop back out next turn. That's my hope, anyway. Like, I heard con save, I was like, this
All right,
motherfuckers
Max.
better not get anywhere close to me.
That's a 9, yeah. So you are engulfed. So this mist just kind of swirls around you, and you try to get out of the way, but the energy just kind of just kind of swirls around you, and you can feel it trying to damage you, and you can feel the necrotic energy like pulsing across you, but it doesn't actually do any damage to you. You are restrained, however, and I don't think there's anything else here for that.
I'm worried that someone is going to start aging real fast soon.
And that is that creature's turn. Holland is up. What do you guys think Holland's going to do?
Cloud of daggers? But I mean, that's the easy joke.
It is classic Holland.
Oh, there
Vicious
is.
mockery.
No. There's.
Actually, I kind of like Vicious Mockery. That's pretty funny. Except for it seems to be DC checks, like con saves, instead of the attack rolls coming out of these guys.
Let me. Actually, the way this is set up.
I mean, no, there's a doorway they have to come through. Cloud of daggers.
I mean, it's not a bad shot. I'll just say that.
That makes sense. It still actually has a fair number of spell slots left, so...
Yeah, the only thing he really used was like rope trick and mass suggestion.
Alright, so I clicked cast.
All right, and I presume you're putting it on top of the door?
Yes.
All right. Can you import and drop the Cloud of Daggers actor?
I am looking to... Oh, cool. Okay, actor.
Mm-hmm.
If
If you go to the second to last one, right?
roll tables?
If you
No, I'm in compendiums.
yes, compendiums.
I got it. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot though. There it is.
There it is. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, so this.
That's a third level Cloud of Daggers as well, so.
So this guy needs to take 17 points of damage because there's no such thing as a saving throw on this fucking spell. Why would there be? Of course it's just automatic damage.
It's the smallest AoE spell.
Of course there's just damage. You know, it's not like other AoE spells have dex saves or something, you know?
They're all actual areas.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it is complete bullshit, but whatever. Holland, I think, has to move in order to cast that spell, though. It's a 60-foot range.
It is.
Yeah, and
So
he's
if he
75
does
foot
a-
away, so he's going to move at least 15. Yeah, that's 60. Okay, perfect.
He could even move back behind the thing. He has enough movement.
Oh, yeah, because you can move after doing stuff.
You can,
Say,
yes.
no.
Yeah, you're taking movement out of the movement tank. You're not using your move action.
Ain't no XCOM without the hyphen, because
Yeah, shitty X.
man, I prefer. Anyone play the Steampunk Pirates XCOM mod?
No.
No.
Anything else for Holland?
I think he's going to swear softly under his breath.
Okay.
Use evasion.
Alrighty. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. Do.
Excuse-
Has there been any sound yet?
They don't make any sound. They're just like they're mist. They're
Well,
sort
you
of
probably heard someone fire a rifle and someone else cast a spell.
yes.
And,
Yes.
and God curse something about daggers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Something like that. Yeah, gods and fucking daggers. 10, 15, 20, 15. Okay. And creature takes when it enters the spell area. So roll me 44, or do you guys want to keep the 17?
I think it's probably just simpler if we assume it has the same damage for a round.
Okay. What the hell? Do. Okay. Okay. All right, Max. You are currently engulfed in this cloud that is attempting to suck your life essence out. If you wish to be out of it, you cannot breathe while you're in it. So you have a limited amount of time, obviously. But if you take your action, you can take a DC 14 strength check to escape it.
So, the thing that has me
Mhm.
would be a viable target, and magical things seem to affect them.
Mhm.
And my shield is magic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take an attack action, as part of that, I could use a bonus to try and hit the thing that's engulfed me with the shield. Am I incorrect in that assumption?
Oh, I guess, but I guess I would. What are you attempting to accomplish with the shield on this one?
It would be a push. If it's no longer in my space, then it cannot be engulfing.
So it just glorbs on
I would
you
say
and
that I would
glorb
still
right
give you
back?
the same. Being that it's sort of amorphous, I don't know how well that would work.
Sure,
Mm,
that's fine.
Air eddies would probably push it away too, though.
You know, it's like, but it's like
huge amount of-
if you're in the middle of a fog cloud and you push on the
Yeah.
fog with a shield, it's not like the fog's gonna completely leave you alone. It's gonna fill in the space behind the shield, if that makes sense.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can cut it.
Okay.
A 13. Wait.
That's the wrong one.
No, I rolled the wrong one.
You wanted Myrrh.
My apologies. I did. I definitely did.
The 19 will hit.
Okay.
So 22 points of damage.
11 of which are radiant.
And the 24 definitely hits. So another 16.
Well, I'm restrained. It would be to 16. Does the 16?
Oh, yeah, 16 hits.
Okay.
So what did I say? So that's 16 and 24? Yeah, brain. And it's below 25 HP at this point.
Oh. Oh, I never wrote it on there.
Yeah, what is the amount?
I need to check.
I think it was.
Pretty
I
sure
think-
that one is 15.
I think it was
I'm
15.
pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's 15 as well.
What did that shit do? Yeah, I'll find it later. But
I'm pretty sure it's
I will
15.
assume it's 15.
15 is my normal like default for magic items.
Yeah,
so
there's only one I know of that's not 15, so I'm pretty sure it's 15.
the only thing I know that's not 15 is the tiara. Okay.
The dragon sword is also not 15.
Ah, okay. All right. So it's still up. It has not been banished by your sword, but it is definitely not doing well. It's reconsidering its lunch. That is for sure. Anything else, Max?
No, I'm out of actions and I have no movement.
Okay. Dendron. So you're hearing all this commotion out in the station area. You hear Helios firing his rifle. You hear Holland casting the familiar tones of the Cloud of Daggers spell. What do you do?
So I pop my head out of the. Oop, gotta click on myself. I don't know
What
where
do
the
you
door
do,
to the
Half
train
Jack?
is. I pop my head out of the door and/or window of the train.
Okay. You see Helios and Holland both kind of like backs against these stone columns, kind of looking into the distance.
Here's a question I don't want to ask, but I should. With Max engulfed, what's the shape of that torch he's holding?
It's a torch. It's still getting off light.
Okay, so I see like a engulfed Max form surrounded by some fingers.
Yeah.
Alright, then I'm going to continue my moves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, at which point, while I'm moving, I'm shouting, Necromancy? Question mark?
I mean, you can tell which sword he's got out.
Yeah.
It's the same one he was killing the dragon with.
Obviously, yeah. Like,
Alright.
unsurprisingly, yes. Necromancy.
He's a big boy.
You're gonna moonbeam Max.
Directly on him, yes.
Alright. Can you find the moonbeam? Can you do it? Ah, you did it!
Hey, I knew what I was doing beforehand. I was preparing.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Okay. So, Max, you're going to need to make that con save.
If these things are... It's radiant damage, so...
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the 6 fails. '21 does not. What happens on a save?
Half damage. Half damage.
Okay. So total damage was 11, so he takes 5. And this boy, he takes the full 11, which I think will be the end of him. Yes,
Wait
it
a
is.
second. Are we hanging out near necromantic poop? Is that what this stuff is floating in the air
What?
near us?
I have no idea what you're talking
Just
about.
well, the crimson mist, if they like excrete, is it these things in the air? These nodes.
Okay. Max, you are no longer restrained.
I comment to Holland that the moonbeams glittering off the daggers look pretty in the evening.
Okay. Anything else in there? Dendron.
Oh,
Anything else? I hear your wife, but
no, I'm good.
okay.
Ow.
All right. I think he is just going to want to get the F out of Dodge.
Oh, did he start his turn?
He
I've
has
got bad
started
news
his turn.
for him.
What?
I guess he already took it. In theory, the moonbeam doesn't hit him until he either steps into it or until he starts his turn in it. To
Yeah.
prevent us from...
Yeah.
doubling
No, he took the damage. Because he was going to start his turn in it, so I just took the damage.
Gotcha.
It's one of those
So
things where I'm like, it's probably fine.
But you know what he did start his turn in?
Yes, I know. Roll that cloud of daggers damage. I fucking hate that spell so much.
And it's at 3rd. Do not consume slots. What?
Cub, concentrator! Concentrate on that cub, my friend.
I didn't think he was concentrating on something else.
Oh,
Just the
it's
dagger?
because he's cloud of daggers is what he's concentrating on.
So
Yeah.
if you rolled it again, then it's thinking that he's trying to cast a second.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, would it have automatically?
Yes,
Ooh.
it automatically takes the damage
The move on
'Cause-
that thing.
because that spell is broken.
Zippy.
No, I meant like, would you have automatically taken the damage if nobody rolled? If it
Wait,
the
no.
compartment
Did it just
could
sit
roll
past
off
me?
like that?
It did.
Oh yeah.
It
I
did.
would like to take my reaction.
Go for it.
Zip the hell past you.
27 will definitely hit.
Rolling hot with the radiant today.
And it does need to save. Was that wisdom?
Yes.
Alright, it's destroyed.
Oh no. Field. I need to correct that.
Ghost bones fall from the air.
It goes flying past, catches a whole lot of myrrh, and then just splashes the pillar that Holland's.
Yeah, basically. So, as it kind of flies past Max, Max just holds the sword up, and it just like tears through the mist. And as the mist struggles to coalesce as it moves down the stairs towards Holland, you just see that like this drips of blood just start falling off it and splattering onto the platform and underneath it. However, on the other doorway, you see through the cracks and crevices of the door, the mist pushes through it, and the mist reforms on the other side of the door and starts heading down and towards the rest of the party.
Oh no, get squozed.
It's squozed. Helios, you're up.
All right. I'll take a Rooney. Do I need to roll on that? I think the minimum is like 20.
If you want to take the minimum, you can take the minimum.
I'll roll, I guess. Okay. Shazam Lama.
Okay.
Minimum 20. And I can't look at that at the same time I'm doing this because I can't pop my screen out. So I will immediately move 5 feet.
Ooh, is there any way to pop the chat out? That is
Yep,
what I really
just right.
That one 15 feet away from
maybe?
me, I'm going to take a shot
No.
at it. The very close one, I'm taking a shot.
Okay.
I'm going to pull my screen up again. Sorry for the delay. I will rifle through this guy's pockets.
Okay. The 21 hits, so get the sneak attack in there too, please.
I closed it to where they...
It's hot.
Okay, and that is 5 feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then, so use my cunning and my movement and my attack. So that
Yes,
puts
you're done.
me
You're
like
done.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Holland is up.
Alright. Next, we good with the daggers? He shouts.
I don't see anything beyond the door. I would also point out you have Eldritch Blast.
You do see
not
something
a
out the door.
Not a concentration, right?
Correct. Eldritch Blast will not break or concentrate.
Yes, you can cast anything that is not a concentration spell.
Alright. He will run... Oh, Holland actually can't see, can he?
Yeah, I gave him one step to the left to give a slightly wider. No, there is another one that hasn't come out that doorway.
Yeah, but he doesn't have eyes on these things because he doesn't have dark vision.
No, but he can see
Well,
Max's
thing
torch
there
and the light
being I
around
have
it.
a torch on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is he doesn't actually have eyes on the two that Dendron can see.
No, he does not.
Though he would be able to see one of them.
No, he can't. They're in the dark.
Assuming... Okay,
You mean the one...
let's put it this way.
This one?
What? Let's put it this way. Max can see two of them.
Max has...
One of them Holland cannot see is because he is, like, looking at the pillar. That other one is like, it's in the very edge of my firelight.
So Max can see this one over here?
It's got... No, Max can see this one, though.
Yeah, but Holland can't, because that's on the other side of the pillar.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Holland actually can't see any of these.
Yeah, well, it's if he's going to look around, he'd be able to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, he pops his head open, sees that, and just because it's the way I imagine Eldritch Blast, sends an Eldritch Blast flying from his nipples.
I don't know what it is with you in that.
That's funny to me.
I mean, the important thing to know, Tony, is that Eldritch Blast is not angry ticks.
At
so
this one?
That's not where they emerge from.
Yes.
Also, should the damage...
Oh man, if I had magic missile,
That'll hit.
my magic missile would be in the form of angry tips.
It only rolls 1d10 on
I would
this.
also point out he's
Okay.
got 3 of them at this point, so you need to roll 3 times. Or
Yeah.
2 more times.
The 23 hits. That'll be enough.
Lucky him.
I
I
think.
mean,
Yeah, it only had
the damage
1 HP.
done.
It only had 1 left.
Okay. That first
Yeah,
was just good. The second 2 were just like, to be sure follow-ups.
Yeah. Anything else, Holland?
hey, I can make myself proficient in Maul, and I just did. No, he is good. I would say he ducks back here because he doesn't have anything to be afraid of over here.
Okay.
He doesn't have anything to be afraid of over here either.
And he does have eyes on you that way. Yeah, okay, I like that.
Okay. He is dead.
Uh-oh. Hey, is my strength back? Because
My God, is Colin's
No, it is
back?
not. It is not.
Alright, I've been papoosing him.
You guys have not taken a long rest. You have not greater restorated. Okay.
That reminds me.
Actually, he can move another 60 feet.
That's why all my ability checks were so low. I was only getting like 15 on a bunch of them.
David, Alyssa's poking me.
Alyssa,
That's what
quit
you
poking
get
your
for being
husband.
you.
Quit poking your husband, Alyssa.
David says to quit poking your husband, Alyssa.
Every domestic abuse situation I've been in, that's what people have told me.
What was it? I missed what Alyssa said.
Oh, you always take his side.
Oh.
Why do you always take his side, Zach?
Well, Tony is my favorite. Okay. That brings us to Denver.
Alright. Since I haven't actually had any good maulings since I got proficient in maulings, I'm gonna unlimber my maul and maul away.
Hey, what's that guy doing right next to me?
He's looking at
Why is he
you.
right next to me?
He's looking at you like he's hungry.
He was able to see through my non-hiding?
Yeah, you weren't hiding.
No, I know.
It's a good roll, Tony.
I made sure I was proficient in my maul before
That's-
I clicked on that.
That's impressive. I'm glad. Yeah, so you bring them all out, and you swing it down onto the creature, and you just see that just like as it passes through the mist, it just kind of gets coated with blood, and you do damage to the creature in accordance to the maul. It does not launch him into another dimension at this point.
That's okay.
So it's a relatively
cool that-
normal weapon with a real fuck you stinger on the critical is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Basically, I've got a Vorpal maul.
yeah, it's kind of, yeah. What else, Dendron?
Huh?
What do you got?
Good.
What else?
I moved. I hit. That's all I wanted to do.
That's all you want to do? All right. He's
Oh
dead.
no, my action was that. So yeah, I'm good.
All right then. So Dendron. Need you to make a dex save, please. All right, that's a save. It's going to enter your space. Where do you want to go? You can go 5 feet in any direction.
Okay, I'm gonna go 5 feet straight up. Fuck you, Mist. No, I'll just go north.
Where are you going to go?
North one? Or no, I guess east one, because that's closer to Holland. Then
Okay.
he's weak right now.
So as you kind of look up, you leap back as you just see this mist coming to surround you and to engulf you. You barely leap out of the way as it kind of as it enters the space where you had once been, and you can just get this sense that being inside of it would be no fun for you. Helios, what are you doing?
So this guy's just looking at me funny.
Hey, looks hungry.
It's rushing towards you.
Yeah. It came around the corner quickly, as if that is as far as it could possibly have moved, and did not have enough movement to do an action.
With my move action, I will disengage.
With your bonus
Oh,
action, you
wait.
disengage? Or your...
Move with my move action.
You can't disengage with a move. You can disengage with a bonus action,
really?
or you can disengage with an action.
You do
Normal
not
people
have a
can-
move action.
Oh, I thought move actions.
No.
were-
You have a movement tank that you spend to move.
Oh, and it does
Not
not
an action.
Okay, so normal people would have to use an action to disengage?
Yes.
Yes.
You can use a
Ooh.
bonus action to disengage.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I think I will move away and take the hit. So I will just take a 5-foot move and then you opportunity me.
It does not take an opportunity attack.
Okay.
I'm
So-
beginning to think these things don't have normal combat abilities.
10, and then can I hide here? Is that semi-believable?
If you want.
Okay, I do wish to hide here.
Okay.
15-foot jump isn't that hard, right?
Okay, stealth, then that is at least 20.
Okay. That's your...
And 15, 25, and I will shoot that guy that was right next to me.
Sure.
I'm gonna just roll the damage as though I hit, because I can't see it at the same time.
You still have to hit him. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
I see what you're saying.
And, yeah,
The 14,
I just
unfortunately,
don't count it.
will miss, though. So as you come around the corner, just like apparently something out of the corner of its eye, maybe the glint from the glowing energy behind you, it shifts to the side and the bolt just fires through and just kind of careens off the rear of the train behind him.
Yeehaw, lad, commies come!
Yeehaw!
Shoot
Pew,
everyone
pew,
behind
pew.
him. Like
Yeah.
the scene in Pulp Fiction. Okay, and then I will move 5 more feet this way.
Excellent.
No.
That is
I was
Helios.
just kidding, quit playing.
That is Helios.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I didn't do anything last turn.
Didn't
That turn
you?
was a tap. No
Nice.
worries, let's just go through.
Okay. Sorry if I skipped you. I don't think I did, but I might have. I don't know.
I think I got the AO, that's all
Okay. Holland.
Click on Holland. Still can't see anything. He's now hearing fighting and bashing. Very close to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, steps back into some light.
Okay.
Still doesn't see anything. So he, at this point, is going to got a charisma modifier of 1 billion, so he's going to inspire Max. That's the person he can see.
All right. So Max gets a bardic inspiration. I think you're at D10 still, yeah?
Yeah, for a little bit long.
Yeah. Okay. So Max gets the bardic inspiration. And is Holland doing anything else? He's going to hold an action. Is he going to...
Is bardic inspiration a
It's a bonus action.
okay, yeah. Then yeah, he's holding action to flee towards Max should anything come out of the
That's a
east
movement.
darkness
He
towards him.
can't hold movement. So he can hold an action. So like he could hold his rapier if something comes close to him. He can
He'll he'll blast something with Eldritch Blast. Anything that comes out of the darkness that he doesn't immediately recognize as the party.
Okay, so he's going to hold an Eldritch Blast in check just to see what...
Tips of his nipples are glowing, just waiting to set it
good
off.
lord. Okay.
Like tiny diamonds, they sparkle.
You're terrible. Okay. That's Holland. That guy is dead. That guy... Helios.
Yo, I didn't get attacked. Oh, I did get attacked.
Make a dex save.
Alright. I read up on all of my stuff, and none of it will, have anything to do with this.
It will not. But
So
you
I'll
do
not
save. So,
Uh,
you can move 5 feet in any direction. Which way do you want to go?
Which is I am right there.
Okay.
Oh man, if I turn one of these
Max.
into a pet, I can just grab someone and hold them there.
Theoretically.
Marco?
You started your
Take
turn
us up.
in the moonbeam.
Yeah, you gotta take some radiant damage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd be down with that, but I did not get an action to move out of it.
All right, fair
And I
enough.
did take damage from
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna step up onto the railing. Oh, I can't step on the railing.
Why not?
Apparently I just... Oh, never mind, I guess I can. Well, 5 foot, and then I would like to take a standing jump for the...
You can jump
Down
that
here.
far. Yeah, go ahead and make me...
I cannot jump the 10 feet. I'm gonna jump down here.
What's your strength bonus? What's your strength?
My strength score is not 20 at the moment. It's less than that, and I would need 20 to hit
Yeah,
10
you would.
from a standing.
You
I
would.
Jump out.
You would. Okay.
I'll jump down.
Make an athletics check.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So you just leap up onto the railing, leap onto the ground, graceful as ever.
Ah, and there's one. So 5, 10, so...
I wonder if these things can fly. It'd be kind of cool if they were just like specific gravity held them down. Like a solution.
They hover.
A double solution.
I consider my mall a solution for everything.
Well, it would be
At that
nice
point,
to-
actually,
Oh,
Holland can see the
I
one
was gonna
next.
I was just making that leap.
So his held Eldritch Blast could go off to either one at this point. Which one is he
Yes,
shooting
no
at?
problem. The closer one. Whoa. Okay. And he lights it up.
Yeah, it would be the closest one.
Okay. So 2, 6, 7, 8 points of damage total.
Although that's not convenient for me. I was gonna throw Myrrh at it. And use the inspiration to make it hit.
Okay.
Oh wow. Low damage on those. Okay. Well, it's still there, so I'll do it. It's a thrown weapon. It's improvised though, so disadvantage strength check.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Okay. And it's not a saving throw, so that.
Oof.
Aw. But inspiration.
Okay. Roll that
Where's
d10.
the inspiration button.
Just roll a d10.
Sure. That's not as fun.
No. 6. No.
Nope.
So the Myrrh goes flying, and it just goes and right past it, almost hitting Dendron, and ting, 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 almost, and falls off the platform just over the edge here.
Ah, well. I thought it would look cool, and I simply ready the hammer. I did
Okay.
not
Do I
throw
spot
it.
that?
You spot what? That he threw
Him throwing that? Yeah.
I presume you.
Where it landed.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's important to me.
Are you going to try to steal his sword? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I might try to go get it real quick.
I mean, if that's what you want to do with your turn, make a perception check. Yeah, you saw where
So
it
that
went.
is at least 22.
You saw where it went.
Okay. Cool.
All right, Dendron,
All right.
you're up.
All right. I can thread the needle. Well,
Probably not fast enough though.
I'm trying to move my moonbeam.
How far can it move? I don't think it goes that far.
Yeah, I think you can only move
60.
30. Okay. Really? Okay.
Or what? No.
Moonbeam.
I'd say as I'm scrolling up,
Don't want to open it. On you.
up to
On
60
each of your
feet. in any
turns
direction.
after
Yeah,
you cast a spell,
He'll have to
action
strafe
moves
me with
60
it. He can totally do it.
You can move between you and Holland. I just can't physically move the actor.
Sure you can.
5, 10,
You own it,
10,
right?
20, 25, 30, 35, 40,
Uh,
45.
So if you put a cube, you put a gelatinous cube on it, you petrified it.
55. Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
you
okay.
totally can, and you don't have to hit us.
And it gets a save.
Do you have one more point of movement? Yeah, Constitution.
Oh, you want to see what happens when it hits that node? Because I do.
oh yeah, I did. Cool. Yeah. Radiant damage on that node as well.
And what's your spell save DC?
Spell save DC is gotta scroll, gotta scroll. Scroll.
It's on your
Hmm.
spellbook tab if you click on it.
15.
Is what? That doesn't seem right. It is 15. How about that? It saves. So,
Alright.
what's the damage?
Only half of it.
So do I roll damage again, or do we go with the original?
Roll damage again.
I think, yeah.
Then... Sorry, looking at my original, I think it was just a normal moonbeam because I don't have any 3, so yeah.
So 7. 6. Okay. It's still standing. And as you see the moonbeam come over that sort of like fissure in space, it flares up. Max, you can see like the moonbeam is like where it touches it is there's this crackling energy of like this just like annihilation of necrotic energy that's coming through it. The thread that would be running towards the Nexus is just being sort of like annihilated in the moonbeam.
That is curious.
Well, and I'm not going to move myself from combat with this thing. I don't want to. Wait, no, I heard the tall one say that these aren't normal fighters.
Did you?
And I'm gonna
Did you
start
hear him
with-
say that?
Yeah, he likes to talk a lot when he's fighting.
Uh-huh.
Part of his whole
Mm.
I hide, ha ha ha, but he's throwing his voice while he does.
What ho, etc.
Yeah, so I hide. No, guess I'll
You're gonna hide behind Holland?
stand in front of Holland.
Okay. And as you get real close to that node there, it does get colder, just FYI. You can feel the cold coming off of it. Right. And again, it would take its damage now, but...
Right. But we already hit it.
Because it's already there. Dendron.
Oh, that's also why it does it at the start. So you can move it over things without, like, strafing them.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Dendron, deck save.
I mean, as cool as it is to like purifier beam half the map.
Oof. Oof. Ooh, Dendron.
Fun roll, though.
Ooh, Dendron. Oops. Alright, Dendron, you take 10 points of necrotic damage, and you, my dear friend, are engulfed.
I'm excited for my next turn, I'm not gonna lie.
You
Hope
do
it
need to
survives.
make that concentration check.
Asked if it asked for me to. That was neat.
Alright, you make it. So you see, as the moonbeam kind of starts coalescing around this and damaging this creature, it flies out of the moonbeam towards you, and it just shrouds you with mist.
How's that Wisp faring?
And it pulls its, like the blood that kind of pulls out of you just pulls into it a little bit. You can't tell any difference between it, Helios.
It's not as scary as how would it transfer life?
Not exactly as bad as that, no.
Oh, that spell is horrifying both for the users and what it can do to a combat for arcane spellcasters.
Yeah. Helios, what do you got?
Okay, got a lot of movement. So for my move, I move out of the spot. Does he react?
Nope.
Do anything?
Nope.
No. 5, 15. Is it possible to go straight north from this spot?
Sure. You can
Just
leap
garbage
over
can.
that. You can leap past that trash can.
Okay. 20, 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my move. For my action, I will do 5, 15, and then where was the spot that this thing was?
This thing.
25,
Your sword.
and that's 30, right?
Yep.
And then I hide with my cunning.
Okay. That's your turn.
Helios, stealth in at least 20.
Okay. All right. Anything else? That's your move. It's your bonus action. Your action.
Yeah, those are.
All right. Holland. Holland is up.
Alright. I guess he's going to Eldritch Blast.
The one that's engulfing Dendron.
I have lost connection. I have reestablished. Okay. Yes.
Wow, why is it hitting such low damages so frequently?
Oh, why is
It's-
it hitting such high attacks?
It's random.
Fair enough.
Okay. So the Eldritch Blast, and Holland is kind of like focusing to kind of just like get to the edges of the mist that's surrounding Dendron, trying desperately not to hit his little dwarven buddy. Anything else for Holland Oates?
And now he runs and hides behind Max.
Fair enough.
He would have been able to see, just so you know.
Okay. Holland, make a dexterity saving throw 15, please. Dang. Where are you moving, Holland? 5 feet. Okay. Holland leaps out of the way at the last minute as this cloud of mist attempts to engulf him.
I don't know why, and I guess I should point this out. He's got +8 on his Dex saving throws according to his character sheet.
That seems to be one higher than it should be.
Yeah, I see a +3 and then a +5 there for the bonus.
So he gets plus
sort of
5.
Special ability? Feet, maybe?
He's proficient in them.
He's a halfling.
But even then, it would
His
it's
proficiency bonus is just one too high.
oh, okay. Oh, I leveled him. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys will level it a long rest. That's my bad. I just did
Good
it.
to know. No worries.
He's at 13. The rest of you at 12 for some reason.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Sorry.
I haven't exactly been taking it easy the past hour.
But he would still have made it. I mean, a 25 would be just
So,
more than enough.
that was just
Yeah, we're
It's-
taking precise measurements way out in the margin.
Okay.
like that phrase.
Max, your turn.
Sure. Dendron's probably fine.
Sure. The 25 hits, the 20 hits, the 15 does not.
Okay. Well then, it can take a considerable amount of damage.
All right, so you bring the flaming warhammer around, slam it down into the space. And again, as it passes through the mist, you can just see the sides of the hammer just coat with blood as it smashes down into the ground underneath it. Okay. Anything else, Max?
No, that's all I got.
Okay. Fantastic. Dendron, you are, at this point, restrained and engulfed. You cannot breathe.
What's the largest creature Dendron has ever seen?
Giant.
It still wouldn't.
One of those space or sky snake things.
They're too large, too high of a CPR for me.
I think a giant elk, but that won't get you out of the mist. Just FYI.
Are you sure? Because I totally read on its engulf.
I don't think it's a large creature.
Oh yeah, it is.
Giant elk?
Giant elk is a
Is it?
large creature.
Is it? I don't know. No, wrong thing.
I mean, I am open to being corrected.
Let me.
I
Hold on.
feel like an elk would be a large creature. A giant elk.
No, I don't know that either. Hold on. I'll bring it up. Are you thinking
An
giant
elk
elk?
might be one of the. I am thinking giant elk.
Well, I've gone
Oh,
before. so
wow.
can do
I
it.
take that back. Giant elks are huge.
I was gonna say.
Wow.
An elk is a big ass deer, man.
That
A
is.
giant version is usually one size category. up.
Wow. That's impressive.
They should
Hold on,
be
hold on.
considerably larger than horses. That's for damn sure. Too
All right.
bad you can't hold that form for too long.
You should have a giant elk in your actors list there, Tony.
Nice.
All right, you can move 5 feet. Yeah.
The sound of unbridled power in his mind.
I mean, that's what Dendron's trying to say, but it just comes out as.
All right, so you need to
Meow.
move out of your space. So I'm going to put you there.
Okay, but I do it very disinterestedly at this point. Giant elk doesn't care about Little puddle.
Okay.
Yeah, if you got in your nose, you could get a cold.
the old giant elk trick.
Yeah, it's a good trick.
I mean, you know what they say: never engulf a druid.
Do they say that?
I mean, they should.
What if it was like a squid or something? Blow up inside of it. I mean, you would pretty much have to narrate it taking quite a lot of damage if you turned into a huge creature inside of a large creature.
Holland.
Wait, yeah. Did this thing not take damage from me just exploding out of it?
It did not, no.
All right.
There are certain advantages to not having to find four.
Yeah, it's non-corporeal. So. Holland, dex save, please.
All right. But I want you to know he doesn't appreciate that bonus.
Man, again with the 24.
Nice.
You can move 5 feet, Holland. Which way are you going? Not that way. You can't go into Max.
He could pass through.
Yeah, but he can only move 5 feet.
Ah.
Okay. Helios.
Okay. Yeah, I pick up Myrrh, which I assume is like 5 feet or something.
It's a longsword.
No. I mean my action.
No,
like
it's part of
5 feet.
you can take that as part of your action.
Okay, and that's 5 feet up here, so it's like 10 to get right here.
Yep.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I will take my shot. I am still hidden, right? I hid last turn.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Who's shooting at?
It would be the one that is not sandwiched between Holland and
This one.
Okay. Yes. Let's see what we get out of this.
Alright.
And then, should there be cunning damage, that's the cunning. Well, and then I guess I'll hide again.
Hide inside of the moonbeam.
Well, it's 30 in an action already, so no. And that is a 20. Is a 20.
Okay. Alright, looks like one of these things left. And we come to Holland's turn.
Alright. He's going to crawl underneath
The bench. Yeah.
the bench, up above the other side, then fire beams from his nipples again.
Okay. The 21 and the 19 hit. So for a total of 5.
Best round yet.
His only good damage roll did not connect.
Alright. Anything else?
Then he's going to duck his head back under the backboard of the bench.
Alright. You can take your opportunity attack, Max.
Sure thing.
The 11 will miss. Holland. Dex save, please. Just barely. So, again, the creature comes up. Holland sees it floating onto the bench after him, kind of trying to engulf him, and Holland just scrambles back along the bench, trying to keep out of the blood-soaked mist of this creature. Max, you are up.
10, 15.
Standing on the back of the bench. The 12 misses. The 10 misses. The 22 hits.
That's what I get for not thinking tactically. I could have set myself up for flanks.
You could have. So you leap up onto the back of the bench and bring the hammer down, and it just like misses Holland's head by a little bit, and you like pull back just a little bit, kind of trying not to hit him. And as you kind of get back on the backswing and come back in, you do manage to get a decent hit on the creature. Anything else, Max?
I think that's good.
Okay, Dendron. Giant elk Dendron.
Gonna.
Okay. Anything else? That's a bonus action, right? To move the moonbeam?
It's actually an action.
To move it? Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay. We'll hold on to that.
How tall is my? How high is my head up compared to? Actually, no. I'm just gonna. Oh, come on.
You're in a subway. You're in a subway for creatures larger than you.
Yeah.
Should be
Yeah.
fine.
I can't move the elk.
You can't? Why not?
I don't know.
Move
Clicking
formation.
on it and it doesn't appear to be. So imagine I'm the elk. Just gonna walk down here. I put my hooves on the wall and peer through this door.
You're going to walk
That's
into the
awesome.
cloud of daggers?
No, peer through the door. I put the head into the door. Just peer. Like one more thought. Yeah. Team for the moonbeam when if the thing gets another turn.
Yeah, I already got it. Okay. Anything else in there?
That is it.
Okay. All right, Helios, what are you doing?
I will. Losing my connection to server. I will take. 5. I will move. I can't touch my character for the. Oh, there it goes. That's
Yeah,
10,
I clicked off and back a little bit.
15, 20, 25, 30. How hard is it for me to go diagonal here?
It's 5 feet
Less
of movement.
than 30 feet, I'm sure.
It's 5 foot of movement.
Yeah. So 35, and I don't have advantage here, do I?
No, you do not.
Okay, I will do 40 then.
Okay.
And make an attack with Myrrh on this guy.
Sure.
What is... I can add my modifier to it, but I can't really use Myrrh the same way that it's like clicking on a button. So...
So, what's your current strength?
-2. And then my proficiency's 4, so it'd be +2.
Alright,
To
so
hit.
+2, +1, because it's magic.
Okay, so +3. So, 1d20 +3. Or actually, it should be 2d20 for the advantage. So,
No, that's not the way that works.
looking at it, it's a 20 and a 10, so the 10
Alright.
would be...
We'll teach
yeah,
you
it
how to
would
do
be
that.
20.
We'll teach you how to do that at some point.
Yeah, but I rolled a 20 for one of them.
Yeah.
So 22.
So you crit it.
Okay. So now it is...
Which means you roll 2d8 +46 -2 for your strength. or
Okay.
-1 for your strength.
Don't worry about it.
And I add sneak attack damage.
Don't
right?
worry about
Because
it.
it's Advantage.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, it's dead. It's super dead.
Well, because
Does it have to be a light blade for sneak attack?
it
Is
does.
it ever really alive?
It has to be
Yeah,
a finesse
or-
weapon.
Oh,
yeah.
so
You
it's
can't
not a
you can't get sneak attack damage on.
Could you just roll damage on Murph for me, and we'll just subtract my -2 from it'll be like -7 from whatever you roll.
Sure, but it failed its wisdom save is the point.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It evaporates.
And then I will move out of that spot. I'm probably taking damage from that anyway.
No, only if you start your
So
turn.
next time I move-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Short
Cool.
dips. You can just close your eyes and kind of lunge through.
Then I'll end my turn here.
Okay.
Yep, 2 moves and attack. That was it.
All right. So as the last of the clouds of mist kind of falls down into blood pools on the ground, you guys feel like you are out of danger for the moment.
Cool. I hand his blade back to him, of course.
Thank you. Good hit.
Thank you.
I would offer to let you keep it for the remainder of this encounter, but I think the strength is probably tactically a problem.
Yeah. I had a decent. I mean, like, I think that to hit on those guys was like 20 or something. And Holland, of course, will
really?
pop off the blades for sure. I'm missing one.
Oh, turnstiles. Oh, I don't know why. Oh, is like the ceiling collapsed down in here?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So as you kind of go in, it's just like whatever might have been above this at some point is probably fallen apart.
Gotcha.
And what with the city kind of having been destroyed, that would make sense.
Okay, so I become one with the shadows.
Sure.
Do I? I do. I step through the turnstile, trigger against turning over.
Yeah.
Or trying to.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand pay cards.
Exactly. It works, you know.
And I move my moonbeam on one of these smaller holes.
Okay. How long does that last? So Max, you're going up the stairs a little bit.
I was definitely going to poke my head up there.
Okay. So as you poke your head up, kind of what you see is like the top of a building, and you can kind of look out across it, and just like the collapsed like roof of this place kind of comes down, and just you see rubble strewn across the top of the structure. A lot of that would be kind of like what would be the roof of the station area out in front of you. And you can see the stairs probably at one point kind of had a landing and a double back going up, but at this point it's all destroyed.
Okay, so it just opens over like vast destruction, essentially.
Yeah. And again, you think you probably tie that to the destruction of the space above you.
Gotcha.
Are we hunting a node here?
No, it just seemed like a reasonable thing to check out. Since sometimes these are fast movement opportunities.
Hmm.
Does the roof hop down into anything else that would be on the map?
No. There's
Okay.
like it covers everything. Like everything remains covered from the roof.
Gotcha.
I think you probably see like areas where it falls down, like over in like this area, or like
Okay.
even over here by the track.
Oh, I might try to hop down then through there.
Sure.
Unless it's going to be like a 40-foot fall.
It's pretty far.
What up, Miss
I mean,
Tony?
it's like 20, 30 foot. Because it's got to accommodate a
Okay.
full train, you know?
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if that's something I should cavalier at this point. I know I got to rest soon anyways, and I'm not fucked.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
try
I
to
get
ride
that.
Tony. I jump on Tony's back.
Does-
Can I ride you, Tony?
Does Dendron
Oh,
allow
cool, okay.
Helios to ride the giant elk?
I'm cool with that.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. So that
But
would,
you need to fire a laser like 3 times in the air while you do it.
yeah.
Yeehaw!
Well, it's a 20 on the acrobatics, so I have time to fire 3 lasers.
Sure. That's fine.
Okay, so that's whatever the ceiling takes while I'm flipping onto his back.
Sure.
Hey,
The
what's,
moonbeam will last for a minute before it disappeared.
Okay.
What's south of here?
The tracks continue down through the tunnel.
Oh, more tunnel.
Yep, just tunnel with track.
Did I get any indication that to the west or north?
I'm sorry, you broke up?
Do I get the impression that to the west or north of the walls in the station?
There it is.
anything?
I have my hands on your horns and my feet also, like a standing roller coaster.
Like I saw flickering through a crack in the wall earlier, but if that's non-canon, that's fine. But I would
yeah,
still
it's
be looking to
non-canon.
see if there was
Nothing in particular up there.
Okay. Well, super curious about those lights, but
They seem to be in a circular formation, and the general direction of the inner part of the circle would be directly south of me and Tony, pretty much.
yeah, the problem is the biggest one is not part of that circle, so it kind of throws the formation idea out.
Well, but I mean, look at the other 5.
And there's no more down here.
No. There's access to a roof, which doesn't really help us much.
Well, that could be the indication of cardinal north. It could be like a clock or something. That looks like noon. Would the 3 o'clock position have another one of these nodes?
I mean, I can tell you it's a tear through to another plane, and there's necromantic energy seeping out of it. I don't think it's part of a specific mechanism.
Well, do you want to look? I'll take a search kind of to the south and the east, see if there's another one of these nodes in the
You
general
want to try and
pattern.
circle around? I'll humor this. It does not seem too outlandish.
You're just
Yeah,
going to go down the
I
tunnel
follow
for a bit?
the nodes. Yeah, I look for a node to the east in the general position of another node in a pattern of like that half hemisphere.
You don't see anything in particular.
Well, I'm running around. I'm still in Elakore.
Sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't invite him to scout further down the railway since he can do it very quickly.
The elk?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, he's 60 base.
All right. I run a bit down the railway. See if I see anything.
I jump back on Tony's back if I can.
You see the rails continuing. You don't see anything like out of the ordinary or unusual. It does remind you a bit of the space underneath Quindon, but not exactly.
Okay. I'll try the other branch as well, just to.
Sure. Same basic thing. Like the tracks continue basically undisturbed for quite a ways. I mean, how far do you want to go? How long do you want to spend on this? I guess is the question.
Clearly not half an hour.
We're gonna come back. I think I lost everyone.
You want what?
I can still hear you.
I can hear you just fine, Tony.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Everything just kind of cut out. I guess hit up on my side. So, okay, yeah. No, so yeah, come back.
Okay.
Hello. But there's nothing down there.
No, nothing in particular. I mean, it depends on like how long you want to go, how far you want to go.
Just a couple minutes, and I guess it won't be a bell, it would be more of a wolf. A wolf.
Oh, wait a minute. We've got internet. We can pull this up. What's elk bugle sound like?
Oh, really eerie, actually. calls are scary.
Yeah, Tony's going robot.
Yes, we are.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, hit the minute.
Yeah. Like Hell's own gate opening.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy, man. Okay.
Imagine being out in like the Canadian wilderness and hearing that.
Yeah.
Dark City, Fast Road, Empty Vest. Fast Road, Goldenrod.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I heard it on yours.
Right there. Album name, Astro Goldenrod.
Astro Goldenrod.
That's all I heard.
Yeah, I got nothing out of this. Perhaps we should just keep going.
Yes, let us search. I say from atop, my friend. Dendron.
We have. I think we're done with the searching.
All right. I have you.
Dendron,
I mean,
yeah.
nobody's made an investigation check. You've wandered around. You've looked at things. If you're looking for
Okay.
something specific or you're
Get
trying to
down
make an
there and
investigation,
investigate.
Well, they're running around at high speed.
Yeah, no,
Noises.
I'm writing a screaming out. Like, I'm just having
No,
fun.
no, you get out down there and investigate. Investigate everything.
You better promise me another hour of rides if I investigate this week.
okay.
Yeah, I'll
so
check this out with Holland's assistance.
okay.
All
So
right.
are you looking inside the train itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do see the same compartment that Dendron saw. It's got the sort of like a missing place for like a 2-foot long cylinder.
Wait. Fire lances are like 2 feet long, right?
No, they're shorter than that.
Ah, okay.
I'd use my penis, but I'm attached to it. Oh.
Oh Lord.
Well, that's
Probably
not good.
someone's fucking scepter.
You found what the word? What scepter?
Sure, let's. Oh, I was just thinking of this is exactly the kind of thing that unknowing civilizations would take and use as like a signal of office.
Hmm.
I'm gonna root through the trash. Might as well. It's a container.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
With Holland's assistance.
Sure.
Probably the one that should be doing this, but let's just do it anyway. Nope, not that one. That one.
Sure. You go start digging through the trash, and most of it is just like falling apart in your hands, because it's obviously pretty old. It doesn't have any smell or anything like that. And as you kind of dig through, there's like little bits and bobs of something that looks like it might have been metal at one point, but it's kind of rusted and just pockmarked at this point. You're not sure what it was. Might be worth something. You're not sure, but looks like garbage.
I'll pull it out. Might be made of something interesting once I get to a place to investigate it better.
Sure.
You guys want to investigate stuff?
Don't know.
Elks don't investigate.
Against the old
Just
code.
have, like, keen smell or something?
Yeah, actually, smelling would be super reasonable.
Everything smells of death.
Yeah.
No keen smells.
I do understand Elvish and Sylvan. Probably don't actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's principally you're very large,
Oh.
you're incredibly strong.
I actually can't do this. And elks are challenge level 2.
Oh.
That is more than I can do.
Oh, you must have been a giant goat then.
You've bamboozled me. You could have just
a normal elk.
could have been a normal elk. You can't do CR2.
Seems way less cool to ride. You make me sad, Dungeon.
Yeah, regular elks are just CR 1/4.
Yeah, but I want to be huge.
You could have been a movement platform for the whole party.
Oh yeah, we could get you elk armor.
Taking that elk away from Tony.
Replace me with a giant goat,
Hurry and level, Tony.
which is only large. No, I don't think I ever actually get to get larger than that.
So these nodes were unaffected by
You can
Radiant.
be a giant goat, though.
Yeah, I mean, only Max is the only one who saw anything happen to them.
Oh. Yeah, no. Radiant energy lights these things up. But I'm pretty sure it's just what happens whenever necromantic and radiant energy hit. Like they kind of annihilate each other.
Yeah, the matter, antimatter kind of thing.
So it's just smaller than earlier.
It's the same as normal. It's just there is a stream of something kind of flammable coming out of it.
Oh, the ground, like.
No,
No.
I mean it's
No.
a hole to another dimension where necromantic energy is being pulled from.
Oh.
Hey,
So-
Holland,
So a whole
box.
like, but a very different one.
Okay, so what are you looking for in the box?
Anything that might, stabilize dimensional barriers, or anything of the old tech at all, or I guess nearby chambers, since I was curious about that earlier, and apparently I can move the two of them together now. That's awesome.
Yeah, did we find any origin to why there was a bunch of souls congregating around that door? Was there nothing of note?
You didn't see anything.
I'll take another lookaroo, just in this general area.
I think it's just the kind of thing that happens with necromantic catastrophes.
Oh yeah, it happened to be a
Yeah, someone power cycled.
concentration, or 7 people died in that room, or yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing there were people in that room when.
Yeah, this is well within 5 miles of the Nexus, that is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you see any interesting pockets or perhaps passages on the thing that would have evaded our attention earlier?
not in particular. I mean, you see the tunnels as they kind of stretch away. You see kind of like the structure of this building. You see the like off to the east. Of course, you still see the node, the nexus point, and that structure. But around here, nothing in particular kind of jumps out at you as particularly strange or unique, or there are no extra rooms or hidden rooms at this point.
Gotcha. Okay, I don't see anything. And I don't have whatever would fix the train. So, I propose we out before we spend too much more time with the...
Yeah, I need to get a beauty rest in.
Sure.
Make sure Helios looks at that train.
I did once, didn't I?
Just want to make sure that he can describe it well enough to the guys in the spaceship. I might have a spare one.
Okay. So you guys want to?
Stroke-ass train is what it is.
So you guys want to head back up towards the ship?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Okay.
I assume we've given the dwarves plenty of time.
Oh, Dedrin. Okay. So, as you guys come back up into the city area, just Tony, I'm just watching you wander around. There we go.
Maybe the both of us could flip this book.
I'll just do
Be
that.
careful with the stone owl.
Oh, I'm the one that gets caught. Nice.
The derpy owl.
There we go. I feel better now. Okay. I've exerted my control. Woo! Okay. So as you guys go back up through the city, you see that the majority of the piles of chitin have been carted away, and kind of dragged over to the ropes. And as you guys approach the ropes, you can see that your dwarves and the crew are starting to haul the chitin up the ledges. You think there's probably like 10 or 15 minutes worth of work to kind of get each bundle up, and it'll probably take a couple hours to get the whole thing up.
Okay, Holland. How many sendings can we squeeze out of you before we take a nap?
And also, I ask Helios to describe the
2.
plug in the train to the guys on the ship to
4.
see if they have any.
He can do 4 sendings.
Yeah.
You want? Sorry, repeat that, Tony.
Helios to describe the power slot in the train to see if the guys on the ship have any.
Oh, yeah, okay. You gonna do that, Helios?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you go and you say, well, it's a power rod probably, and you go by yay, by about yay, and you know the standard conversational description of mechanics everywhere. You know, it's about yay big, by about so big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have measurements down pretty easily because, I always get 15 or better. Yeah.
Sure. And they definitely have a power rod that'll probably fit in there. They pull out like what is essentially like a 2 foot long by about 3 or 4 foot in diameter power rod. It's kind of like this like golden colored rod. It's glowing this sort of like golden yellow color.
So it's goldenrod.
Yeah.
That
would
I mean, if everyone's busy with
the second they pull that out, I was like, God damn it. Like he turns around and they like hops on the line and just kind of like fast propels down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna head back to the station?
Just sigh sadly and go back down with the rod.
Okay.
My emaciated frame, weak from all of the exertions of the day and the curses and the death.
The cursing and the dying was probably the dying may be the worst part.
Well,
I'll have been.
yeah. I'm coming back like at a third of my strength or so.
Oh, did you get possessed? 'Cause that really sucked.
I did not. I was dead before possession started occurring.
I was possessed both before and after that, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
I was just trapped in a big stone room for a while, so you didn't get to see the best of it.
Yeah.
I feel I was spared dying because the ghost threw me into the water right before there was all that dragon fire.
Yeah, you would have been dead.
It would have been a slightly worse day.
Were you able to drag me there,
I did, yes.
Tony? Oh, that was... God. I'm sorry if I angered you with my questions.
It's okay.
I'm gonna quickly go urinate. I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a couple hours. Why don't we take a quick break before we fire up the train?
Sure.
Wait.
Also, anyone else who has an idea of who should be sent a message, we've got at least 2 sendings to throw. Probably 3.
Yeah.
How does the tree fit into this power structure?
I don't know.
It doesn't yet.
Okay.
You want to forcefully involve it somehow?
Not particularly. I do not know the nature of the magics between it and me.
All right. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back.
I'm curious. I would like to try that.
I mean, I would prefer to handle it from like miles away and attack nuke. Is my thing. I don't want to interact.
Oh,
with
don't-
anything at all.
Oh, don't ever tell it your plans.
I don't want to involve myself with it directly. It can push us in and out of little pocket dimensions. That shit is not
Safe.
to be sought out.
What are we
Without a
talking about?
specific, like when we get someone who casts Dimensional Anchor, maybe.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Reality Threat is a pretty good time to bring in questionable people.
Yeah, well, the problem is Reality Threat is a great thing for a logical actor to respond to. But if they're not logical actors, then all I'm doing is like one, spending time, which we have a very limited amount of, and two, exposing myself to potentially just losing instantly.
Wait, if we've got logical actors in play, maybe we can get the invisible hand of the market on our side.
Nice.
God.
Oh, I could use my mage hand as an ambassador. Mhm.
I guess your mage hand is in fact invisible.
Yeah, it's an invisible hand. That's 2 out of 3, and that ain't bad.
Well, I mean, if we got you to a market, it would be in a market. It also
Yeah.
it also does
I mean, it could become a
express its
legend.
interests on that market.
Ooh,
Mostly
it
by
could,
moving.
that
Alright,
could be
alright.
my
Like
godhood.
tiers.
My mage hand could become the god, and I would just be its apostle because
Okay.
I traveled around everywhere that it was.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
kids.
the living embodiment of its will.
I have no idea what you're
it
talking
would be
about.
like part of the duality instead of the trinity.
Oh my
We're
God.
talking about various actors that are currently on the globe that we may or may not want to involve.
Oh, I
in
see.
Libertarian.
I see. Okay.
I put in a vote for the tree, but
Mm-hmm.
Jack doesn't want to involve himself with,
Zach doesn't like the tree.
Galacticus or whatever. Whatever. He'll eat our planet for sure. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it's done it before.
We should just leave it alone.
Really?
No, we
I
should
don't know.
definitely deal with it after 2 days from now, and
Yep.
The tree is
Preferably
cool.
the,
It's
the
just
tree
that he
not-
married poorly.
He married poorly.
Doesn't he have your guys' souls or something?
We promised we would help him. We would get his son out of the house.
Yeah, that's
I'm
that's
telling
it.
you, man. Play cricket with him, and you're done.
Wait,
That's
what are you
a-
talking about now?
The tree.
Oh, Tony,
tree?
just hitting it with the mall and saying goodbye.
Yeah,
Like, I got
seriously.
you out. Not my
All
fault
you
you came
just
back
do
every
now is
12
just-
seconds.
All right. So what are we doing?
Well, I mean, I guess the obvious thing would be a power check.
Okay. So you're just gonna put the rod in.
Unless someone can tell me why that's a terrible idea.
You cut out there, man.
Unless someone can tell me why that's a bad idea.
To autopilot and send us hurtling down the track somewhere.
I mean, at that point, I think I'd pull the power.
Cool.
Oh wait, what is the? Who's it say? Something empty vessel. Bad day.
Dark side.
Did anybody?
No, I missed it. Whatever.
Dark City, Fast Road, Empty Vessel, the Golden Rod, the Flying Beast, the Clouds, and the Empty Land.
Well, we already took care of a flying beast.
And that was pretty empty land. But
Oh,
the
man.
vessel.
Yeah,
Golden vessel?
that sounds
Right.
exactly like what is being described.
Wait, what sounds exactly like what's being described?
The train, the divination. We got an empty vessel powered by a golden rod.
Yeah.
Balls were supposed to be here.
Maybe. I don't know.
The sequencing is curious. Maybe it's like a scavenger hunt. So we just need clouds and empty land, right?
And
Let's slot
Holland,
this thing and find out what
and
happens.
Holland's
No
like-
way this goes poorly.
and
Oh,
Holland just
no.
goes, "Wait a minute, clouds? I mean, would that be the top of the sky? I'm not in. I'm out. I'm out."
I thought we no didn't we already
So
change the? I can't.
No,
No,
you
you've
probably
said
got
that,
fulfilled.
but we haven't heard it.
No, you don't know. Holland's still.
I'm pretty sure we already took care of your thing. You're fine. And you've been in
Also-
clouds before. You were in space.
Also, he's wrapped up in my papoose. So,
Oh yeah, he's too weak to stop us.
He is.
Just keeps looking up at me.
He is too weak to stop here.
Just tighten the papoose so he can't use his hands.
Yeah. Oh no, he is a sucking bait.
As soon as he says I'm out, like I just look over at Dundred, and he tightens it, then I jam the rod.
Okay. So
Okay, now I just realized that Alyssa doesn't know what a papoose is.
oh well, that's what Google's for, right?
It's a baby sack.
It's a baby sack. Okay, so you take the rod and you put it into the slot for it, and you see the lights in the under this console kind of start flickering on. You see lights kind of, and you start to hear the hum of the engine start to swirl up. You can see various lights on the console come power on, and you can see that there's the screen of it kind of indicates that it is ready to go.
We got some sort of communicator with the ship, right, Max?
Yeah, we do.
I should probably let them know that we might be blasting off into the inky darkness.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. We should send them to collect the steel dragons, but at that point we have to make sure the steel dragons will be willing to go with them when they arrive.
And that they'd be willing to actually talk to the steel dragons.
Oh, that's another concern.
Yeah, without us to push that, I've got my doubts.
Well, wait. Mordecai might be okay with it.
Well, yeah, but I get the impression that he's the coolest guy on that ship, but not the one in charge.
Well, he's not, but we just gotta apply enough pressure so that they, with reservations, accept the plan, and then we let Mordecai take point on that. Yeah.
I'm Holland do the talking, and I pat him lovingly.
So what's the plan?
Holland is gonna convince the guys on the ship to go to some of them. Oh wait a minute, I can just go to the world map anytime I want.
The feta.
Go to
If you're looking for where the
place with
dragons
the
are at,
steel dragon.
yeah, it's in the 13 Kingdoms. It's called a feta. IFETA.
Go to a feta.
That also have the like a mage college.
It did, yes.
Okay.
It did. I feel like we did something.
No, it's still there.
There's a feta next to the endless desert.
Yeah, it's right at the end. Like right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so Holland is going to convince the
I might have.
spaceship to go to a feta, pick up the steel dragons, and we'll meet them assuming this train gets us there.
Yeah. So you see the feta right there? Edge of the endless desert?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's weeks after you move a necromantic, or after you move a nexus point that like magic is weird, right?
Yes. It's, well, the last time it was, I forget, 6 months.
Ah, okay. Was that a particularly poor doing of it, or was it just that's how long that it took that time?
It was real bad because somebody nuked a nexus point.
Ah.
and it had to like be basically manually reset, and it took months for it to happen.
So if we were to move
somebody nuked it.
now-
I don't know who.
Sounds like someone who has no idea what he's doing ever.
Sounds like real jerks did that.
Yeah.
We should go hunting for them next. They sound like real do-batters.
Oh, they're dead.
Are any of their previous characters still alive?
No.
They met just in Stone. Fair enough.
Literally none of them.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
Rufus. I mean, died, but he's back.
Yeah, I know what Rufus is doing. Do you want to check in on Rufus?
I feel like he would die if we did that, though.
It's possible. You never know.
Probably. I mean, like, hey, Rufus, wait, you want to go on one last adventure? I mean, another adventure?
So what are you guys doing? So you gonna send a
Yeah.
message?
Yeah, we need to send messages. That is a thing that needs to happen.
Via the voice talkie is what I'm calling the communicator.
Yeah, so you handle that while I worry about sendings.
Oh,
All right. So what is the sending?
who's this?
Or you just have the communicator. You don't have to make a sending to the ship. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, like,
Yeah,
deal with the
exactly.
ship first is what I meant.
So then, no, not then. Holland is going to. Hello?
Hand me that,
This thing on?
please.
Yeah, you're still coming
Thank you.
through.
Yeah, I hear you.
No. That's what Holland is saying in the communicator.
Oh, and the captain will say, yeah, hello, what's up?
All right. So, you know how we got the whole nexus of necromantic energy thing, right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
All right. So now we're in the empty vessel, and he gave us the goldenrod. So we're gonna take this thing and just yeet ourselves across underneath the sea.
I'm sorry. What you're gonna what yourselves?
Yeet?
There must be a local dialect. I don't know what that means.
Move at high speed through direct input of energy and casual disregard for destination.
Ah, hurl. Gotcha.
Hurl.
So you're gonna hurl yourselves at great speeds.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you would be so kind as to go to a feta and
Go to
pick
where?
up those assholes we were talking about.
Which assholes were we talking about?
You know, the arrogant fly types.
Oh, you want me to put dragons on my ship?
That's the one.
Why? And where? Let's start with the why. Because if I don't want to put them on my ship, there's no point in me going there.
You know, gathering of forces, stop the next burst of energy out of
Because in the past they've demonstrated a disinclination towards the goals of Rayir, and they are considerably more powerful than other forces we could bring, so they seem, if we can make them amenable, to be excellent picks.
enemy of my enemy and yada yada. It sounds like you've got some past beef with them, but probably not these, because
They've been trapped in this hole for such a long time.
Exactly. Right?
Han, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
All right. So you get
Andrew's
advantage for
helping.
having the forged rod.
The rod doesn't.
Alyssa didn't appreciate. Does he get advantage for having the coolest rod?
Oh. Oh, man. That is a real bad roll.
I mean, it's the worst roll he can do, and it's still 12. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The worst he can do is still a 12. Where are we taking these things?
Gathering forces at the island with the ladies, right?
Well, it depends on the number of moves they get. They might have to go directly to just dropping them.
Yeah. I mean,
but he wants a direct answer, and it's best to seem confident and proud in these moments.
Are you
Just say,
so are you taking the dragons to the
Be
keep,
airy.
or are you taking the into the Avery lands, or you try to take them to the keep?
I would say the keep, because we know the keep is at least connected to a train like this one. So there's a chance we could actually be there as well.
Yeah, but if you'll recall, there is a problem with the track outside of that.
That track is ruined. Is a problem. We could probably get a raw store to restore it.
Maybe.
Or mend it. Walk down it and mend it very, very slowly.
Mend only does a very small amount of area.
The funny thing is, mend. This is actually one of those situations where mend might work if only we had replacement track and someone strong enough to hold it.
So that would be cool. But I think just traveling along the tracks in disregard of the train might
it
be
makes
faster.
practice. We tried that.
Yeah. So 80 miles an hour. That's how fast we're going down the track.
I think they're bullet trains.
Yeah, they're very fast. Hundreds of miles an hour.
Well, that sounds terrifying.
We never got a map of these.
No,
I
you
don't
never did.
think.
You never got a full map of the network. No.
Is there one on the train console here?
No.
What is on the train console?
There's a. I'm going to presume that Helios is there to translate. So there's a speedometer of sorts where it'll tell you how fast you are going. There's a setting for how fast you want to go. There's a start, stop, front, back, forward, backwards. There is a sort of like an autopilot, and there are a number of stations listed, and they're given as a numbers as time of day. So if you'll recall, when you were in Quindon, that was called the noon station. And what you're in right now is the 6 p.m. station. So there are other stations that are kind of and what I think what you guys had intuited, and I think what we had discussed back when you were in Quindon, but that's 2 years ago now.
It's okay. Make it rolling.
Yeah, that I think what you had learned, or at least kind of what I had in my notes, was that the stations are kind of split out on a sort of longitudinal basis, and that each of those longitudes has a clock association with it, like on a 24-hour clock. So this is the 1800 station. There's a 2400 station somewhere. There's a the one that in Quindon is the 1200 station.
I suppose the biggest question is, does autopilot have any track tending? Does it understand if there's breaks in the track in front of it?
I think that
we did a summit.
That's what I'm going to say is given what happened outside of Quindon, I would say probably not. The awareness of track is probably not something that's programmed into this.
Hey Holland, pull out the box. Can we see the actual track?
He can't see the track specifically, no.
Well, I mean, we can still look for breaks in wherever the track would have to suspend itself. We can throw a slam on the brakes. How far out does the box show?
2 miles.
When did we do this divination?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Right before you went in to fight the Dracolich.
Or so today, I guess. Earlier.
Okay, so right before we went in, so we were in the city already?
No, you were on the ship.
It was before we came to the city. Yeah.
You were on the ship before you left Kinvarok.
Yeah, I want to take the train because I've already taken the plane, and so after this, I'll just need the automobile.
You gonna tell your Uncle Buck all about it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like there's got to be a John Candy joke I can make here.
Just go slowly.
I think going slow is the exact opposite of what we need to do.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of like we see how far out we can see and keep our eyes peeled for breaks in the ground below the track. And
Is there anything in anybody's spell list that might help with this?
nothing has a constant effect. Divination is the kind of thing that we might use. Do you have anything like
Locate objects, the nearest thing I could think is even tangentially being involved with locating. So like locate a break in a line would be kind of a weird
That's
request.
not a that's not an object.
Yeah.
That's a lack of an object.
Yes.
Let me see
Or
what-
a bent, I don't know, like a bent girder?
That's
Okay,
still
like
not an
commune
object.
Nature. Let me look up commune.
It's only do 300 feet underground. It only has a 300-foot radius.
Ah,
Hmm. I guess I could spider climb and stand on the top of it and just constantly watch ahead for it. So that's 60 feet if it's dark. So you would have to light it up with something like a lot.
Well, does the train have anything on the front that looks like a light?
Yeah,
it
there are
should,
lights.
shouldn't it?
Yeah. So we'll be fine. You just stand on the train, and then you you start knocking real hard on that windscreen. If you see the track out, and then we'll hit the stop button.
Yeah, no, that
Oh, yeah,
sounds
okay.
that
Knock
sounds
twice and
great.
then jump off, yeah.
I mean, this is actually like the best plan we've had so far for maintaining it.
No, that's amazing. Just stand on
can't
top.
divine.
Stand on top of the moving train and knock
Well,
on
not
the.
on the top so much as in front. It depends on how the.
Yeah, how about we
Windshields
just
are arranged.
strap him to the front?
Well, I mean, he was talking about using spider climb. I think that's an appropriate.
Or we just turn the lights on and stand in the cabin would work also.
We should also
I can get a better
have.
view from the outside.
Should
I
also
mean,
have-
the higher view honestly would get me a further better view, but like, it sounds like David believes.
I think it's hilarious.
in
I think you
his
should do it.
infinite wisdom. Okay.
I think we should also strap an IV from him into me because I've been flagging it, and I want to ride shiny and bright. Hey, Ed Max, Underworld Road. Hey, if you strap to the front of this. All right, I'll stop.
I didn't hear
I
much
see
of
that.
what you said, honestly.
We're gonna make you a blood bag
Oh, why would I assent to that?
because the worst part of being a blood bag was you were already talking about doing. I can't divine until an 8-hour rest, so
Yeah. Also, you wouldn't want to divine today, anyways, because
exactly.
bad divination.
Oh, that would be a good divination. Like, does this track stop somewhere creepy?
Well, that would be a horrible way to say it.
Oh,
Way too
well,
much.
yeah. Yes, that would be a terrible way.
But yes, it's a pretty binary.
Yeah, I don't think we really have the time to try and get more spells on this. We should hit the button and try to recover what we can while the thing is in motion. We do have a spyglass, so our most consistent perception at the front can roll with advantage, and we can throw an inspiration on that.
But we never did actually finish a conversation with the spaceship.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So those dragons are probably not part of your beef. And you came to this hellhole dimension to stop the thing that those dragons once stopped. I mean,
So you're telling
and
us.
you're fighting, Space Hitler, Space Elf Hitler.
Hmm.
Why are you gonna handicap yourself? Think those dragons are worse than Space Elf Hitler? I think the way you were describing it before was there was beef with the dragons because they were working with Space Elf Hitler, but I don't see those dragons locked up in a green statue here. I think the one is worse than the other.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. So what do you want us to do? You want us to go
Pick 'em
where?
up. If Feta.
Where's
and
that?
then you can. So it is. Ooh, is there? How much like cell phones are these things?
This is nothing like a cell phone.
All right. So I pull up a map and I point out a Feta, and I point out the Grayson's Keep.
Florman's Keep?
And
Where? I'm sorry. Where are you taking them? At Florman's Keep or Grayson's Hold?
yeah, you're right. I mixed those two up. The one with the pirates.
All right. Florman's Keep. It's the little comma island off of the northern reaches there.
Yes.
That one, right? Right, Tony? There?
Hold up, I ran it. Oh, huh. Thought it was like one of the ones somewhere around here.
No, that's where the elves have their big ship.
Oh yeah, it even is noted Maelstrom of shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because Grayson's Hold's over here.
Oh yeah, it's Grayson's Hold is stone now.
Yes, correct. That's why I'm asking.
What is that? Oh yeah, no, Florman's Keep.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
All right. So he's like, all right. I mean, are they expecting us? Do they know what's going on? Who are we asking for? Are we going to freak everyone out? I mean...
Don't
So
land to the north of the city. I don't know what the appropriate measurements is, but let's say a mile. The dragon should be able to meet you there.
and the city is. Last time we were there were dragons, and these dragons are fucked up dragons. They're weird dragons, unlike other dragons. So the city did pretty well with those, and they were under griffin attack at the city. And did this city have a sewer problem?
Feta did not have a sewer problem, no.
Okay, but since we were there, we can assume that it already has been taken over by sexy wasp ladies.
I mean, you could assume that, but the last time you talked to the dragons, they didn't seem to think it was taken over by anybody.
All right. So so just assume that the city is already traumatized and will not want to engage with you, without taking a while to figure out a plan to engage with you, and by then you'll be off to a neutral magic zone.
Okay.
Full magic zone.
So we should send Mordecai in? Is that what you're telling me?
So yeah, when you're at Florence Keep, just be aware that the keep itself is null magic.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
they're not going to fly through the maelstrom.
No, they'll fly over it.
Oh yeah, no, I just want them to be aware. Okay, you guys don't care all that much about magic, but consider this a professional courtesy from one guy who does real magic to a guy who looks like he probably does that fake arcane magic.
Okay. So they say, well, okay, well we're loading in some stuff. Oh, but PT dubs, says the captain.
Is that like eat?
Well, it means whilst we're talking about things. Whilst we are speaking of matters important, pray tell, dear sir, by my word, should we do anything about this blimp armada that's heading south?
Mother! How many?
Let's see. Let me see if the scanners can resolve that far. And he kind of holds off for a second. In that, I need to pull up my notes real quick.
Tony, I'm going to kill your imaginary Nazi girlfriend.
No.
It's going to be a really unpleasant fight because I know David won't let me do it easily.
40? At least 40.
All right. So yeah, part of the plan today was to come here, kill a Draco Lich.
Check. Yeah, check.
Get its juices. Go to the city where that blimp armada just came from. And do a drive-by on those blimps.
I see.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
I wouldn't know what a
How
drive-by is.
likely are you to be able to engage those with minimal exposure to yourself?
Well, I mean, they're blimps. I mean, we could get a couple, but there's a lot of them.
Why does everything have to be on fire at once? At their current speed, how long will it take them to reach the?
Well,
the
they'll be overhead here probably in an hour.
Oh man, if they're coming overhead here, I wish we had more resources right now. But do you think without even lifting off, you could take them out with one of your newfangled ballistas?
Not all of them, no.
But a fair amount of them?
A few. I mean, we're not really built for, atmospheric stuff.
Oh yeah, but I'm just, if,
I would say we could probably take down 10 of them if they keep on their present course.
So if I were part of an armada and I saw that happening, I'd be upset.
I mean, we should also be real careful since that, we know those things will be partially loaded with warlocks.
Yeah, those will have a fair amount of warlockery.
That's good to know.
Possibly even some super kulaks.
Some culottes?
Super
like shorts? Like shorts that are like a skirt?
I think he means monks.
Warlocks with very sharp facial features.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, we can't knock them all down, but we get a few.
Take out what you can.
Yeah, everything is on fire at once. Let's think about what we can do to help. I mean, maybe we can go hold the city hostage. But their god lives there, and the god probably has some kind of god defense.
You've seen the god defense before, yeah, so.
Well, I mean, I've seen the talking to the god.
Well, you've seen the dome that they have been able to apparate over the entire city using the god
yeah,
power.
But that just stops Draco Liches.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it has no other purpose. You're right.
You've also stopped Draco Liches, so I think we're on par.
I don't know why I thought it would. Of course.
So, at their current rate, how far from the Dwarven hold are they? They're an hour from here.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just do some quick measurements and math. Come on, brain. I did something and now it doesn't like me. Okay. Let's see. So it's 488 miles. Yeah, 438 miles. I would say at their current rate of travel, 2 days.
Okay, that's plenty of time. That is plenty of time for us to deal with one other thing first.
So do you want us to blow them up or not?
I do want you to blow some of them out of the sky.
As many of them as possible.
Your cannons far exceed, like, a kilometer, right? Right?
I mean, they got pretty good range. Yeah.
Don't get close.
Well, I mean,
There's
again,
a considerable amount of magic in those, so be aware.
that is worrisome. I mean, magic is magic. I mean, we have to wait for them to come close, and then we can shoot them. This at the edge of our range, sure, but still. So we can shoot a few, then take off if that's what you want.
Sure.
That is exactly what you should do.
Okay.
Oh, and if any of them, looks like some kind of armada leader, or seems more tinged in magic than any other, blow up that one first. Tell them Dendron's the shot.
How would we tell them anything?
You don't have like a loudspeaker that'll.
No? I mean, for somebody who's as anachronistic as you are, I don't even know why you would understand what a loudspeaker is. But
You've never just funneled up a piece of paper into a tube and yelled in it?
well, that's not called a loudspeaker, though, Tony, is it? It's called a megaphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have like a megaphone,
Or
a
a-
magical megaphone?
A hand cone?
Well, I mean, a hand cone plus thaumaturgy.
Exactly.
It's like, no,
Ugh,
we don't have that. Because
I've never heard
Here's-
that word pronounced like that.
here's the thing. In space, nobody can hear your hand cone.
Or your giant elk.
Exactly. Nobody can hear your giant elk scream in space.
What about a giant elk with a hand cone?
Not even then. You're from space. You should know this.
Well,
I've never seen a giant elf with a hand cone in space trying to yell at
Well,
me.
he's also from really old space, and maybe things have changed.
New anti-hand cone technology.
Yeah.
My impression was that it was full of air.
See, I heard ether.
Ether.
The phlogiston, damn it.
Raw ether.
The luminescent
Oh,
ether?
nice. Everybody's just Hunter S. Thompsoning in space. That's why nobody comes down.
Exactly.
They're so high.
Ayahuasca, that's where it's at.
Yep, sounds like it.
Okay.
Love having a guy in a loincloth just spit in my face.
Who doesn't? So, okay. So, back to Dungeons and Dragons, fellas. So what do we? So you're Captain Zonosaur is like, okay, so you want us to shoot a couple of these guys down, go pick up these dragons, take them to this weird island of yours. Yes.
Yes. There'll be a crew of women pirates at the island. Just tell them that Dendron sent you.
So they'll kill us on sight if we use.
They'll
your-
expect you.
Okay.
Oh no.
They like
They're
you?
women pirates.
They like you.
Yeah.
They like you.
Yes.
They like some of us.
I don't think any of us are doing them. Any of us are doing.
I mean, in theory, they've probably got a small amount of bacon fruit production going on, so
Yeah.
they might appreciate that.
Bacon fruit?
Though I seem to think that was someone else's idea.
You were
Despite
too
the fact
busy.
You provided the magic for it.
You were too busy playing with your multi-shooter.
I was trying to make that work. Never did. Never did.
Yeah.
And then
you never
we had to
finished
give
it.
up all the spare lances.
It's true.
Yeah, but we did let the.
I could tie two of them together now. Double barrel fire lance.
Sure.
Hey,
that is-
she bitch!
And then in the prequel, you come back with multiple arms and multiple double barrel fire.
All right.
I
So
guess they're all.
once we're there,
Yeah. So
and we're dropping the dragons off with these pirates, then what? What's the plan?
we're going to show up from the train. Is this a train? What do the Titans call this thing? I'm not asking. I'm just asking them. I'm asking what I would know to refer to the yeeter as.
The yeeter.
The yeet chariot?
Yeah, the yeet chariot in Titan.
No,
would-
the yeet cart, because we'd be familiar with mine carts. So, the yeet cart.
Yeah, the yeet cart.
Yeah. They'll be coming up from the ground in the yeet cart, but there's a prophecy that involves the yeet cart, which is really kind of why we're going this route.
We'll be in contact. The communicator will work at that range, won't it? Or will it not?
It's like, I'm not sure. I mean, I think so. I mean, it should be
If it-
full planetary, but you never know. Sometimes,
Okay, well,
sometimes
in
these
the
things can
event
be a
that
little.
we can't raise you
odd.
on it, we will contact you through other means.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you met us at a very interesting time.
Oh, great.
I'm standing, like, kind of just half paying attention to the conversation, like, slowly closing my fist, staring at something no one can see. It worked so well back at the Nexus.
Sure. Okay. So they sign off and they're like, okay, whatever you need us to do.
Yeah. Do try and get down as many of those blimps as possible, though. The dwarves that you're with?
Yeah.
Have they seen the blimps?
Not yet. No, they don't know anything about it. They're still loading the cargo.
All right. Get them all into the ship. Before the blimps come into view, and keep them there until it leaves view. And also, that cargo is what a dragon actually looks like.
Yeah. Okay.
Dimensional dragons.
Sure. No. Yeah. It makes sense.
Holy crap. If that armor gives fire resistance. Sorry,
Yeah.
just thinking about other things. Alright. So that's a thing.
Uh-huh.
Sending the first to the dragons
Okay.
to answer your question. Armies of men and elemental magics. Meat transportation 1 mile north of city.
Should you let them know that you control one of the Nexi? As well, because they're apt to be as skeptical.
What's the ETA on arrival? Sorry, I flipped my mic boom up when I was like, hold up my hand at Holland to like stop the message dictation.
Sure.
I like turn over like like I reflexively turned it off. God damn it. Anyways. So yeah, what's the ETA?
They think they could probably be there within like 2 hours once they leave.
Sure. ETA 2 hours.
No,
Watch for ship.
Still, no, whoa. They've still gotta wait an hour for these balloons to buy, pop a few of them, then fly off.
Okay, ETA 3 hours. if the dragons are waiting and watching for a ship, that's fine. If the ship arrives and there are no dragons, that's a little less good because there's now a ship landed next to a city that might have concerns about things coming from the sky.
Hey Mordecai, does your dimension have ish?
Have what?
Ish? You know, not 2 hours, not 3 hours, but
Oh, yeah, of
3
course.
hours ish?
3 hours ish, you know, about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Oh.
Are you typing it in for me?
If you can
I'm sorry, what was
sneak
that?
in-
Are you typing it in for me?
Yeah, I'm typing it out.
You can sneak in a, like, delay apology, controlling Nexus.
No, I can't sneak that in. What?
Mm-hmm.
They've called it a freighter.
Yeah. It's a they have called it a frigate and a freighter, if that's what the ship.
Is frigate a commonly used word in the fantasy setting?
You know what a frigate is, you know, in terms of like a sea vessel.
Okay.
Which is the thing where it's like, you know, like that is not, I don't know, way bigger than a frigate.
Sure. I need like a word that will also encapsulate that it's a space vessel.
Oh, that's a good question. Don't know. That's for
Space
Max.
frigate.
That's for Max to decide,
Yeah.
and Max and or Holland or whomever,
Oh, I mean,
whomever.
Communicator. We can ask, hey, what do you guys call them? What type of vessel what you have?
And they would say it's either a frigate or a freighter, depending on who you'd ask.
See, but those are via sea. Anything that denotes space? Oh, you're typing this Discord? Weird types. Also peeling my chair, guys.
I'm sorry, what?
It's lost so much fake leather.
Oh.
Okay.
So much typing over there.
Okay. In answer, we intend to return you soon. We'll work with armies, men, and Rostor north of city. 3 hours hence. Star transit. Your ride.
Thank you. 25 words to respond.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's 25 words on the dot.
Okay. Put that in.
Although I
chat.
kind of want.
Can you just put that drop that in chat for me so I can think for a second?
Yeah, let me update a couple of commas to periods.
Sure. Punctuation doesn't matter.
I mean, it matters to me. I'm the Oxford comma guy.
Oh my god. Nobody cares about your Oxford commas.
Cambridge
And
commas.
they
yeah.
help to preserve meaning.
But let's call them serial commas.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's cool.
I could have sworn I
think
turned
that
those.
should be
I turned those off, but they just did an update, so let's
I
see.
don't know what you guys are seeing, and now I'm intrigued.
There's a
When I
It's 'cause
put it
you're
in
on the
chat
different
window,
map.
like it appeared as a
chat bubble. Answer, we tend to return you soon.
because the question they asked was who would defend the city in their stead.
Yes. Goodness. What would they say? What would they say?
What next side does Feta have?
I'm sorry, what? A
Feta
feta,
on the next side?
it is not.
Do you know why they're defending the city?
Because it was attacked.
I mean, I don't know how strategic they are. I'm hoping they can see that if we start blowing things up in the homeland, we're unlikely to see action elsewhere. Maybe. It has a reasonable chance of distracting. I appreciate that.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I've got 2 more sendings to throw.
Okay.
And since I hope to rest on the train, we should probably do them before we get roll.
All right, so you've burned one of those 3rd levels, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
So you're down to 1.
2 if I burn higher.
Yeah, you can. He hasn't cast any 4th level spells, and he doesn't have that summoned yet.
Are you going to do one of the sendings back to the dwarves to let them know?
Yes, that's the one I'm writing right now. 5, 8. You got anything you think they should? King of Dwarves.
I just feel like Armada incoming. You know, fight to the last man. So we're assuming Chad wants to be you. We're not sure if
I've always wanted to be me.
we're not sure if Chad knows you've become the Pumpkin King. We might be able to sucker Chad into using some dwarf souls to those dwarves fall, then there are much more competent. Probably gonna find his pillar and cause him headaches. Like Chad, and be like, hey, send some dudes out. Start sending some guys back to the south. And defend those people, as it will be more convenient for you to do that now than have to deal with more competent dwarves in the future. Of course, if he knows that you've become the Pumpkin King, he might defend them and then just hold them ransom until you give him the Pumpkin King powers. I could see him doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sending Chad any messages. He didn't respond to the last one.
Oh yeah, he did.
Okay.
You have 25 words?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I would have sent the correct number. Well,
20 word.
Correct number.
20 word response. I'm needlessly handicapping you.
Well, I assume they were going to say thank you, Just Protectors, at the end of it. Wise/Just Protectors.
Yeah, you think so?
You knew exactly what I was doing right then. Could have played us up a little, though. Oh, look. We have downed half the armada. 35 blimps incoming 2 days. All up. Be back in a couple of days.
Okay. Anything else?
And a great aid. We will be as ready as we may. Cool.
So that's his third level sending.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's out of thirds.
I suppose I should actually check his list.
I'm taking care of it, but he's got 2 4th levels that he can burn. That's it.
I guess the question at that point is, what, if anything, should we preserve? Oh, that teleport got me feeling all kinds of weird things.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that till after the long rest.
Oh yeah, fucking. I do believe you have Windwalk, don't you, Dundren?
That is a possibility, yes.
That is fucking amazing. That's 8 hours of 30 miles an hour movement, invisible and flying. Well, not invisible, but hard to see and flying.
Isn't that gaseous form?
Yeah, you're in gaseous form. Your movement speed becomes 30. You can only use your action to dash or to start turning into your normal form.
I'm sorry, your movement speed is 300.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I said 300. My apologies, but it's 300. It works out to something like 30 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, so okay. So anything else? Are we done with messages, or are we?
We have one more. We might just want to hold it in case we do turn into paste hitting something in this tunnel.
Well, we have 2 more, is what he said.
Yeah, you got 2 4th level spells you can burn.
We could always contact the Seneschal and be like, hey.
Neener.
Oh, no, just be like, hey, this whole Armada thing is a bad idea. Oh, wait. Dracolich. We could tell her, hey, Dracolich is gone. You don't need blood. Dracolich dead. No blood needed. Turn back Armada.
Well, the problem is the Dracolich is dead, but that doesn't mean the undead will stop. We've been attacked multiple times by undead creatures, and I've had no influence on them.
Well, yeah, but you don't have the power yet.
I understand that, but
Listen, I'm okay lying to her, but yeah, we should let her know. A, bad idea. B, we will be sending a warning in force in an hour to turn back.
I mean, it's not the worst idea you've had.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not by a wide margin. It's not.
I like David's immediately imagining like some sort of bar that's buried miles beneath the Earth's surface.
I mean, the worst idea he's had is pretty bad. Just saying.
I wonder if you have a list somewhere.
I don't, but I should, in my memoir.
What can I say? I'm a connoisseur
of chaos. Yes, I know.
Chaos, yes. Oh, I like that. Yeah, definitely. We should contact her. Something like
To Tess, we send expect allies before days and in starship to land on island. Prepare to be taken to a site for battle. Nexus is bound. Nexus is bound. Do you have a manual?
Necromantic destroyed. Your turn now. Will warn and force if necessary. Need for further. Something like that. Hey, it did it for me now because I'm on the right.
Oh, I didn't see what you threw out there.
Let's send a dot at window as well.
All right, is that what we're sending?
I suppose it's not incomprehensible that they would be able to communicate back.
Are you sending that to the Seneschal?
I
mean, there was one left. I wouldn't stop him.
Hold up. Yeah, I was imagining she would be there, but yeah, she wouldn't be there. Nobody should be there. But...
Oh, she might be on it, or she might be at home. But I mean, they have relatively high level warlocks. I feel like it's not beyond the potential of their magics to send emergency orders.
So maybe not return now. Dracolich destroyed. Anything with...
Call your wife if you want.
Dracolich destroyed. Return. Armada now. Go warp in force if necessary. No need for further bloodshed. Dinner after this is all over?
Oh, good lord.
Return Armada now, dinner after. Move the all and 25 word response. Thank you. And that's what I
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yes. That could, we know, so no need to graph any longer. We'll claim the crown of ages and our goddess will be hey.
Oh, I missed humor. I have too many tabs. There's the game.
No. We never pick up a crown.
No, you never did.
Place.
You never did pick up a crown.
Did we ever see a crown?
No. But when you were given the maul by Narsobo, she had explicitly stated that the point of it was to defeat the Demon King so that you could take his heart to the south and claim the crown.
Yeah, and we did everything but claim the crown.
You did, yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, how much time we got?
I feel like we should pop back over and see if we can claim the crown.
Yeah, how are you going to do that?
I don't know. I just don't
Can
know.
you cast Secret Chest?
No.
Then that crown cannot be claimed.
Oh. Who has the crown?
The crown is in the Secret Chest.
No, it's not.
It's not?
No. If you're thinking of the tiara, that is not the crown.
No, I didn't think it was the excuse me, not the crown. The heart is in the secret chest.
Yeah, no, that's not what they're looking for.
Yeah, no. Supposed to claim a crown.
Yeah, but the heart was so that you could claim the crown, was it not?
Yes. But the heart was placed into the construct.
Yeah, the construct is
Oh
construction.
shit! Yes, it was. Oh no, I think we should keep going on our current path, and you should divine in the morning how to claim the crown.
All right. I mean, yeah, we could probably steal a march on them.
Please report how many you're able to down if you are still in range. And then I just like kick the button and kind of gesture for Helios to take the wheel.
Helios take the wheel, and you're just gonna.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I hand him the spyglass.
I'm driving on that hand on the wheel.
Okay. So, you guys hit the on button. Are you going to set the autopilot for anything, or are you just going to hit the button and see where it takes you?
Well, let's look at the divination that set us on this path.
Yep.
So, Dark
Well,
City
we're closing the node, aren't we here?
Checked.
How close to that node are we that we're closing?
How close to what node are you? What?
Why are we getting on this train to transport ourselves instead of this ship?
Because of the divination, specifically.
Yeah, the divination indicated this was the safest way for us to disrupt. Do you remember what your exact words, your question was, Tony?
It was something like that. I do not.
It was
remember
what is the
It was
safest way
the safest way.
for us to
Go ahead.
disrupt the communication of the enemy? I think was what you were asking specifically.
Sure.
That you were looking. What is the safest way for you guys to disrupt the communication that would be sent out from the enemy in 2 days' time?
Okay, sounds good.
So, I'm pretty sure we already had Flying Beast, although Beast is a term that can be bent out of what we've actually done. Also, Empty Vessel may or may not be what we're currently on.
Yeah, there's just too many.
But
Usually, we're
I don't
really
think
grasping
we've
at
actually
straws.
interacted with clouds and empty land. So is there something I can think of longitudinally from here, pulling out the globe, that I know... Wait, clouds and empty land. We go north.
You want to go north?
Okay, you're confused, or you're surprised, so I'm concerned. So, clouds and empty land. The island of Florman's Keep is flat.
Yeah.
And completely empty, save for the keep in the corner and the tower on the other corner. And it's surrounded by a giant maelstrom, which I
Oh.
assume involves considerable clouds.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, so we go south, because there's only two options.
Okay. So, okay.
I mean, I'll take votes.
Let's go back to his original question. Is there anything he can think of clouds and empty land? Because in my mind, it was the keep as well. I was thinking clouds and empty land, because that land is very empty.
Ooh, it could be a mushroom cloud from the place that we exploded that was full of those people that kept the technology piece.
We did explode that place.
No, we let the demon see that place.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Was there a new king?
Not in this campaign, no.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah, but seriously, anything come up with clouds and empty land?
Oh, you're just thinking?
Roll.
You're just thinking?
Roll.
Just thinking
thinking.
rolls?
well, I mean, Holland might actually have something approaching utility on this. Let's see what his skills can reveal to us. History? History is a reasonably good thing.
Yeah.
so
I would
clouds and empty
accept
land-
I would accept a history check.
Wait, am I misremembering or no?
I can
Does
do
anybody else have any point of history?
But I will say, like, Helios, his history would not apply. So
I have
sure.
a-
It has to be
I have a
Denver and
point.
Holland or max.
Yeah, I would like to assist him, but I'm not trained in history, so it's a question of like, is that an appropriate thing for me to try to do?
What's the precise history that we're talking about?
References to clouds and empty land, specifically where it might intersect north or south of us globally.
Yeah, the only library that I've had access to in my
wait.
time here was the one at that the undead city, the dwarven city. I was able to get into their books. So if the reference is related to that city in some way, then I might be able to give advantage. But otherwise, no.
There's the. I think clouds and empty land. There's the Magi. We've already talked to them, and they didn't seem interested.
Yeah, they're useless every fucking time.
Like the course.
Was their land particularly empty or cloudy?
Their land was particularly icy until you got to their like particular enclave.
Yeah, and then it was all happy. And
Yeah, exactly. It was like this.
well, it was kind of empty because they're all like phased out of existence, but
Sure, but immediately surrounding them was just wasteland. There was nothing there.
I don't recall any clouds though. Anyway,
Well, there you go. There's a number.
didn't even give the advantage.
No, not necessary. Okay, so what Holland would say is that the empty lands were a kind of a euphemism for the like very furthest south portion of the Avery lands.
Oh, we go south. We hit the other exchange that will connect to all the different lines, and then we go back up.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
should
so
work.
if you're looking at the Avery lands, Tony, like
I am.
somewhere in this portion of it.
Oh, there's layers. When did this thing become Photoshop?
Like somewhere down in there. Well, you've always had access to the world map. That's something.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just realized that they were very quick, like flip back and forth.
Yeah. So, and then in terms of like clouds, I mean, there are peaks. They're always in the clouds. That might be a thing as far as Holland is concerned. But in general, those are kind of the names of that area of the world.
Yeah, so here's my question. There's one special looking mountain right around where that pink line was thrown and where Tony appears to be hovering his mouse pointer.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it is a very
Anyone know
It is a special looking mountain.
It has a top that reminds me of the Four Peaks over by Birdtown.
Similar to. There might be some relation. You're not sure.
I flip over the globe and see if there's anything odd looking there. Or actually, I look at it to get a description of it, because clearly that's what I'm looking at.
So as you kind of gaze at it on the globe, you can see that it's taller than the rest. And it's got a caldera at the top.
Huh.
So you presume volcanic.
Well, that's super settling. Anyways, South, any objections? 3, 2,
Yes,
Well-
I object.
okay.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking. We asked what would be the safest way. It would be this train. It'll get us right down to Papachango to interrupt that casting. However, we already have forces gathering to the north.
Yeah.
What I say is we go grab our dragon, grab our pirates, come back here, grab a crown, throw everyone into the train.
The train won't hold that many people. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, this is one train car, man.
This is the engine.
Also,
It's the engine. It's not the full, like, it's not a passenger car.
I mean, also that's going to take up a lot of time. We're, 30 hours out now?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, then we have all of our forces just gathering up north, doing nothing.
They also have the ability to hop the globe in a matter of hours.
Yeah, I mean, the carry-on crawler is essentially a teleport, if you want to think about it that way.
Yeah, it's like a ritual teleport.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm not saying what the problem is.
Well, you're the one who had the objection.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what the problem
With
grabbing our forces and going down there. We can either ignore train or come back and you take our favorites on the train.
Well, I'm imagining ignoring the train would not be the safest route. There's probably a reasonable chance that the carry-on crawler can get shot down if we bring it into the wrong spot.
True. Man, I really want that crown now that I think of it.
Well, we've got 60 hours before that becomes a real point of pain. And one person who can teleport. So let's focus on the immediate issue and then worry about your familial obligations.
Or we could, after a rest, you could burn some divination on figuring out the answers to those questions, because it seems like would we be able to make it in time would be a question, and how important is the crown would be another question.
Well, I mean, it's definitely got import in that they will destroy that city to get to it. Like, I find that important.
Yeah, it might be Tony's ascendancy item. We might need it.
I mean, I don't think we need it for the task immediately at hand. Regardless, like, we can rest while the train is moving, and we can't cast any spells until we've rested.
What are we going to accomplish in the south, do you think?
Gain information? We'll have spent time exploring it, and we'll have rested.
Do you have a higher level spell that you could burn the slot for, Tony?
He can't cast it again and have reliable information come out.
Nope.
Only once a day with reliable information. So you think we can take the train down, disrupt communication, come back up, handle this, and continue formulating our showstopper for Papachenko?
Not necessarily in that exact sequence, but yes, something along that line. I think what we is either sit here and rest, sit on the ship and rest, or get on the train and rest. And I think getting on the train and rest has an added advantage of us exploring down the, which is clearly listed as part like the safest. Like that's the entirety of my reasoning. But like I don't see anything that is more efficient than that. I'm inclined to follow the divination simply because they are relatively direct once we've, rolled 20s to isolate their meaning.
What do our folk do at Foreman's Keep once everyone is congregated there?
They're mustering. It's not impossible that we can't send a train back up to collect some of them, although that railing is damaged.
Yeah.
Coordinate with the carry-on crawler to have them drop somewhere in the Broken Lands that isn't covered by sky shield lasers or whatever crazy bullshit the elves have placed to cover their god. Like a sky assault on the Avery Lands is terrifying because they clearly had a battle cruiser on a different island that they were working on. Like, how hard would it be for someone who's from that world to have established a technical manual? Because we saw people running around with technical manuals who were elves and just taken some of those hull-mounted lasers out and placed them near his castle.
Like,
there are lots of terrible things that could happen if we just try to drop on there. But if we go, through the train tracks, we can get there, one, without drawing too much attention to us, and two, potentially find a safe place to land.
Okay, no, that got me. That got me. All right, let's before we hit the on switch, let's just communicate that hey, instead of just we're taking a train someplace, let's let them know that hey, we're taking a train to where we're doing advanced scouting via fast rail.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll probably ask them to load up the ship filled with lady pirates as well.
Yeah,
and,
be ready to transport the pirate crew. I'm down with that.
Okay.
Exactly. Seriously, take out as many blimps as possible. These people suck. They won't even go to dinner with us.
Okay. So
at that point, I realized I wasn't paying attention when he had asked the first question. I looked over at Holland, what did he say?
he was asking for a date, says Holland.
Yes, the worst kind of lady. Anyway.
Okay, so the Captain Zenosauraro will come back and it's just like, all right, I mean, let us know where and when. We'll do our best here. We'll take out as many of the blimps as we can.
All right.
Cap.
Filled with assholes.
Okay.
Also, if you guys know how to fix a railway, get on that.
All right, and so you whack the old go button, and
it doesn't work.
I was considering we get 500 feet away at a blistering high speed and then just launch.
Yeah, so you whack the old go button, and the engines fire up, and it just starts tearing off down the tracks. And that's where we'll end it for the night, I think. It's a good.
So can we assume we get a long rest in?
Well, you guys can level up for the next session for sure. We'll go ahead and do a long rest on the train.
Can we call it a ding level up then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you should all be level 13 by now.
Yay!
Finally got that +5, boys.
Woo!
Also, something else.
Finally, I get to do useful stuff with my mage hand, or more useful than before. I just haven't used it also.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had that giant stack of fire lances still. You could set them to explode and then plant them on people.
Yeah.
It is almost it's almost a called out function of
Almost.
Or of the mage hand.
Although you guys are getting to a level where that wouldn't do as much damage as it used to, or wouldn't be as big of a deal.
Still hurt.
It would hurt.
Seventh
So-
level spell, guys. I get a
Also, I
seventh
assume if
level
it's in your
spell.
pocket, like it's an auto fail on the dex check, right?
Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I just figure I can steal anything that I want from anybody with a bad enough passive perception. You know, below 15.
Yes, I've got a little bit of a problem.
Oh no.
At this level, I have plane shift.
You could take plane
Ooh.
shift.
That is, I like it. That is thematically very useful for sure.
So
I mean, oh, man, and I have a metal rod worth at least 250 gold pieces attuned to a particular plane of existence.
yeah, it's gotta be a tuning
Nice.
fork.
I mean, it's got
It's gotta be a tuning fork for that.
a forked metal rod.
Yeah, it's gotta be a tuning fork. It has to sound a note. That's how plane shift works in 5e.
Oh, you mean it's the spell option?
Yeah, it's the material component for the spell's a tuning fork, basically, but it has to be worth a certain amount, and you have to have a fork tuned to the certain plane you want to go to.
Well, if you can,
Goddamn. My maul just has plane shift on it, doesn't it?
Kinda, but it's got a very specific thing.
All right. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Oh, let's see. Is that maul made out of the stuff that the locks are made out of? Is it one of those pieces of stone carved out
Yep.
in Folly?
In fact, it is.
It probably just takes you back to the place where the place in space where that beam is supposed to be.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. So.
And when you look into the mall, right? So every time you've seen the mall, of course, it's like a star field, just like laid on. It's like it doesn't really show dimension in of itself. I mean, it's got dimension, but when you look at it, it's like a window into another space, and the space that it shows is literally the star field, as would be seen from the place where that mall would be existing in the prime material.
Aha.
So it just wants to go home.
Basically. So,
I
Alright, guys.
suppose we should probably figure out exactly how long it's been since this planet disappeared, like to the minute, because it's been in lockdown. Has someone been pushing the lockdown return button? I don't know.
don't know. Who's to say?
Well, I imagine someone with a shit probably has better knowledge of this.
Probably.
Too bad we're not getting away from that.
Night, David.
All right.
Thanks
Thanks,
for
guys.
doing stuff with us. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for playing. And
All right.
I'll leave the server up, so if you guys want to level up and all that good stuff, you can do it. And then we'll see you next week.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, playing.